Hello everybody and welcome back to another amazing episode of Guapish, and today I have a very special quiz. Today we're gonna see how well we know our friends, and by friends I mean the Guapish cast. Speaking of the Guapish cast, first up here I've got ya boy himself, Tanner.
That's right, I'm here and I might be queer.
I guess the quiz will only be able to say so later. Next, the guy who probably knows the most about each and every one of us, Nico.
Yeah, so I'm currently filling out y'all's We're So Back status. Let me just say, prospects are looking good.
Hey, yo. And lastly, the guy I have the most faith in to actually win this quiz, Jackson.
All I'm saying is I have to write down the list of who gets announced in order on the code base, and guess what? I got it all correctly. And if that's not me being a shoo-in for this quiz, I don't know what is.
Fair enough, dude. Yeah, and so if it wasn't already obvious, this is going to be the Guapish Guess Who quiz. I essentially ended up asking each of you to list 15 things about yourself, whether it be commonly known or less commonly known. And your guys' jobs is to suss out who is the portrayer of said prompt. Now, I realize in one of the episodes, Nico did a who is most likely to be this thing, so I promise I had this idea before then.
That was more of like a discussion thing. That wasn't really a challenge.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, there's differences.
I may be keeping track of points if you're, like, say the prompt comes up and you know it's you. If you're somehow able to throw people off the trail, but also, you know, not let on that it's you, there may be a different scoring system for that, so keep that in mind.
What the fuck do you mean by that? Like, if we know the answer is ourself, we have to, like, not answer ourself?
Yeah.
Are we going to be announcing our answers out loud?
The answer will be revealed once everybody submitted their answer.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll each be answering out loud then.
Yeah. So, is anybody confused on the instructions, or are we good to go?
You know, when it comes to board games, Dylan, I'm often very confused by the instructions, but I find I learn better as we go along. So let's just start her off and see if I can pick up on it.
I hope so, dude. I have a lot of redeeming when it comes to fucking, to quizzes and shit, because I, for some reason, can never get them right. And without further ado, here we go. Alright, I'm a software engineer.
I'm locking in Jackson.
Yeah?
I think this one's Tanner, to be completely honest, because that's what he wanted to be back in college, if we all remember.
That is true. I do remember Tanner saying he wanted to do that.
He gave up on it almost immediately.
Maybe he's doing that as a secret side hustle, you never know.
It'd be so silly if...
Dude, I think it's a bit unfair to say I gave up on it immediately, you know. I got my associates in it, at least.
That's what I said, almost.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna lock in Jackson as well.
Okay.
Am I throwing, like, do I only get points for not answering myself if I get somebody else to also answer that or something?
Yeah.
Is Jackson supposed to say himself here? Or should he just be like, I think this one's Tanner. I'm gonna lock in Tanner.
I feel
for
like
it.
answering out loud, but
Yes?
you know, let's just keep going, I guess.
Just keep it rolling, dude. Let's see what more we have to offer.
Yeah, that's, we could type it out, but I don't see what typing it out is really gonna do here.
That would just take too long as well.
And it'd also be funnier with live discussion as well. Some of these are hopefully vague enough to where this doesn't happen all the time. I have dark brown hair.
I mean, that's Tanner, right?
I guess only the answer will say so. I mean, quite frankly, we all have...
I am incredibly remiss to say this one is Nico. I don't believe it, but I have to answer likewise.
Alright, we've got one for Tanner, we've got
Why
one
are
for
you
Nico.
remiss to say, Jackson?
Because it's not true, but you always say it is.
And yet, everyone other than you two colorblind-ass motherfuckers say, yeah, your hair is brown. Like, what the fuck is up with it? My sister, who is a hairstylist, works with hair professionally, says, yes, you have dark brown hair. She gave me a little chart and everything, showing, okay, so this is like, this is the gradation of, like, hair in terms of color, okay? You're like a 4 here. However, like, black, it's a 10 up here, okay?
Gentlemen, this is a far more divisive quiz than I expected it to be, and we're only 2 questions in. I've got one for Tanner, I've got one for Nico. Tanner, what's your answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in Nico, but also he's wrong. I want that one on the record.
I agree with my husband.
It is, in fact, Nico.
Holy smokes.
So, unfortunately, Nico, I'm surprised you were, like, fighting so hard to, like, say that your hair was, in fact, dark brown, when that answer was not...
Because I just want the record to show that these two motherfuckers don't know what they're talking about.
I've got eyes and I can see.
And
Me
yet,
too.
Jackson, we know you're colorblind.
What's me being colorblind have to do with anything?
What's me being colorblind have to do with me not being able to tell what color your hair is?
Again, no one has ever been colorblind to brown and black. That is not a thing.
And yeah, apparently it exists amongst you two exclusively.
It's okay, Nico. People often say I also have black hair, and I have to constantly inform them it is, in fact, dark brown.
It's
Moving
a cross we
on.
must bear.
I have brown hair.
Holy smokes.
We're
Is
all
this
so
me
creative.
again?
By the way, don't fucking at me for these fucking prompts. Remember, I got this shit from you guys, so...
And that's the folly of your choice here, man. You should not be making us give you the answers because we're retards and we
Alas,
cannot
it
be
is
trusted.
silly.
Okay, so Dillyn,
Yeah.
did you, like, make it so each of these will be one of us? So it's like, okay, well, by the power of deduction, this has to be Tanner?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Tanner, then.
So, yeah, you're saying there's no fake outs. Are there any that you made in here?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Just for the sake of me not having to try to remember each of your individual responses, could you actually just, like, type in the general chat so I don't have to sit here and try to remember what you say?
We're typing and talking anyways. All right, I'm on it.
Wait, so you're saying that you have submitted your own answers for each of these?
Yeah, my original intention was to have mine as, like, bonus questions, but, that'd be...
Wait. Are you saying you've submitted your own answers describing yourself or describing us?
I've submitted my own describing me.
So he is in
Oh
the
my
running
God.
for us
I am in the
as an
running.
option.
I just can't win the quiz,
Interesting.
probably. Unless I
Okay.
somehow beat you guys by deception points.
Well, we all have brown hair, so this really is a toss-up. I can't remember if I answered as one of my prompts if I have brown hair or not, and that's the real question here.
I mean, we got... Fuck, hang on. When I was talking to you before, Jackson, about... Because I had submitted my questions to Dillyn very early on, and you were, like, really
Yeah.
daddling on it. And so when I was telling you about... Oh, it's really easy. Like, a fucking one of mine, I just said what my hair color is. This could have inspired you to just give your hair color for one of them.
I'm just gonna say Tanner because I think he is the most generic brown hair of all of us, personally.
I'll say Dillyn, because I'll assume that he was inspired by me saying I have brown hair, whereas for Tanner it's fairly self-evident. This is also early on in the quiz, so they should all be fairly self-evident ones. I'm gonna switch over to Tanner, I think.
I think switching should not be allowed.
I'm gonna lock in the answers that I see here. It is, in fact, Tanner.
Whoa. For the record, I said Tanner. Don't make us type out the answers and say them. That shit's fucking stupid.
I mean, the typing out of the answers is just for, like, Dillyn to be able to quickly look at so that he has it for posterity's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd hope he has,
Us saying
like,
the
you know,
answers
his-
is for the audience, Tanner.
I know. I'm just hoping that, you know, he has his phone notes app open and that's how he's keeping score instead of us having to type and talk and give you more stuff to cut out of the audio, you know?
Typing does make a lot of noise.
That's fair enough. I guess I'll switch over to my phone. I didn't consider that. You're right.
Fantastic.
Moving along. I have glasses.
Well, we got a fucking 75% chance here. Where 75% of the people in the fucking call right now wear glasses.
Is this one Dillyn?
Are you sure you yourself do not have glasses, Jackson? Consider.
I wear glasses for, you know, sun protectant, but I don't need them medically, unlike all three of you guys, which do. So this is kind of fucked here.
Damn, he's
Dillyn,
right.
did you do a full 15 of your own describing you as well?
Yeah, I was hoping this would be going by much faster, but it turns out it's not going by nearly as
A
fast
lot
as I
of
had hoped.
deliberation is going into these choices
Oh,
here.
yeah.
That's what makes it fun, though, dude. You don't want to just be rapid fire of like, okay, here's the prompt, everyone answers. Okay, we're moving on.
I was gonna be cringe and be continuously checking my own list to make sure, but fuck it, I'm just gonna ignore that I can check which
Yeah, that
ones
wouldn't be
I
very
submitted.
cash
So
money of you.
I don't remember what the fuck I told Dillyn before.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I think it's funny if you can't remember your own list. It makes it that much more challenging.
you should have mentioned that, buddy.
I figured I shouldn't have to.
Tanner, where's your
Anyway.
sense of whimsy? Anyways, it literally doesn't matter who I pick because it's a fucking 33,
It is a
33,
toss-up.
33. So I'm saying Dillyn, I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna say myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna lock in Dillyn.
Damn. You guys have so much more potential for it's me.
Damn.
I'm nuts.
Whoa.
I'm popping off. Dillyn's feeding me the answers.
I'm potentially, maybe.
Dylan's your feeder.
Yeah.
Tweet, motherfucker. Anyway.
Fuck, I was gonna include that on that one discussion episode of like which of us is most likely to become a feeder. I feel like
Damn.
it's probably Tanner, right? Probably.
Sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be you.
All right, here's a real mix-up here. I like the smell of chlorine. Now this one's an odd one.
This is an easy one? Shut the fuck up.
I mean, apparently this person thought so.
Yeah, this is a
it's
very
Nico.
well-known fact about me. I like the smell of chlorine.
This seems like a diversion from Jackson. I'm assuming it's him.
I think Jackson's sense of smell is too powerful, and so chlorine is actually really overwhelming for
That's
him.
a decent point, actually. I could definitely see Jackson not liking the smell of chlorine because of that. Jackson, do you like the smell of gasoline?
I do like the smell of gas. I don't like chlorine, though.
Aw,
Curious.
interesting.
Would anything happen if you mixed gas and chlorine?
Instead of mustard gas, you'd get ketchup gas.
There we go.
Nobody laughed at
I
that. I'll
hope
kill
Nico
myself
did
now.
not insert a laugh track on that one.
I cannot fathom who the fuck this is. I'm gonna say Nico, I guess. I don't know.
I'll lock in Jackson.
Nico and Jackson. Tanner?
Oh, I said Nico like right away.
Okay. Oddly enough, Nico could not throw you off his trail. This man loves the smell of chlorine, and I don't know why.
Nico was trying to pretend that it was a diversion of himself when it was in fact a diversion of his own making.
Yeah. You know, this chlorine just reminds me of being a child, you know, just going to the pool, going for a swim. I love that stuff.
That's what gas is to me.
Dude.
I've got fond memories of my mom overtopping her car and like the whole inside of the car smelling like gas, and she did that like all the time.
He's got fond memories of his mom pulling into the garage, closing the door, pulling out a garden hose and some duct tape. Fun times.
Anyway, I was gonna say something to Nico, but I think I want to move on now.
Fair enough.
Alright, I am 26 years old. I don't know how
Fuck
many of us
yeah.
here are 26 years old.
Everyone but you, I think.
I think so,
Yeah,
right?
all of us but you.
Damn, so there's a 25% chance for anybody to get this right.
I'm gonna lock in Jackson.
Alright?
Well, what's fucked up is I feel like it to me as well, but I can't remember.
This is why I said looking at the list would be fucked up. This is great.
I mean, I guess because of that, I'll say Jackson as well.
I'm just gonna say myself too. I guess I still don't really understand what the point of not saying yourself versus trying to fake it out is. I don't.
I mean,
fully
presumably you
understand that
don't get
system.
points if you say yourself anyway, so...
Yeah.
Oh, is that...
No,
yeah,
no,
why
I-
would I... If you know this fact about yourself, then why would you get points for it?
Well, I mean, this could be fucking any of us, and if we don't remember what our prompt is, you know,
I mean, that sucks for you then for not remembering it.
I mean, if I don't remember it, then why are we not just using the fucking list in the first place? Anyways,
Do you guys want, like... I was gonna implement
No, I
this
don't
before
think
and
you
I
should get points if you remember a fact about
No,
yourself.
I was gonna say I'll give each of you like a removal token, and I'll tell you guys who it
Listen,
isn't.
man, I just want to know what the rules are.
Dillyn, please provide us with the PDF outlining the rules for this game.
Okay, you can't pick yourself to get points for fooling people.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
There we go.
but what if you think it's yourself, then it just doesn't matter. I
If you
guess
can't
by picking
remember your
Tanner,
list, I don't know what to tell
Then
you.
get fucked, I guess.
I mean, if I don't remember, if I lose points for not remembering my list, then I'm just gonna pull out my list.
Nobody loses points. Nobody loses points.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna lose points.
All right, so
Well, I'm losing potential points by not trying to fake a diversion.
Nico
He's
and
using girl math on this fucking stupid ass game for some reason.
Nico and Tanner both say Jackson, and Jackson, you said Tanner.
He said Jackson.
Yeah, sure.
Or, okay, whatever.
I changed my answer to Tanner now.
Okay.
Armed with
Alright.
knowledge.
Get fucked, boys. It was me.
Damn.
What?
You're 26. I thought you were 27.
Not yet.
No, he's not yet. It's next month.
That's so crazy.
That's pretty fucking good. Damn. Here we go. I own 3 cats.
Is this Jackson?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you own 3 cats, Nico. You own, you got Mochi, you got Yuki, and you've got,
A girlfriend.
a cat.
I was waiting for that.
Jackson, go ahead and try and fool me here.
Well, I think we just gave away that it's Nico.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lock in Jackson.
I'm just doing a bit of a goof and a gaff.
Alright, well, it is in fact Jackson.
There he is.
Unfortunate. I went to Dayton High School. Now
Get away.
consider...
I don't know where that is.
Yeah, so...
yeah. I'm gonna say it's Dillyn.
No,
See, I wish I knew that trying to fool people was an element of this game when I was picking my own prompts.
I mean... I
Do
figured
you
that
see
was...
how that would be useful to know?
I said on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being things people should know about you, 10 being...
but you should have just said you're trying to fool people into not guessing you.
I'm sorry for implying that in my prompt, I apologize.
But then, Tanner, you'd just be doing things that are really fucking vague, like, I have organs inside my body.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funnier, though?
Well, it's just more RNG.
Well, actually, I can't say the thing I was about to say. It'd be too meta.
I have eyes that allow me to see.
Personally, I like it being more about actually knowing facts about each other rather than it just being a game of fucking pointless deception and vagueness.
I think it's
I
funny,
guess.
quite frankly. Anyway,
I don't mind it. It's Dillyn, obviously.
I was gonna say, is
Dillyn.
this an effort and futility? We all just, yeah. Congratulations, you guys put 0 effort into gaining this point.
Who
Congratulations.
the fuck else would go to Dayton High School, Dillyn?
This was a level 1 question. This was like supposed to be one of the easy ones.
I would hope we all get it right given we all went to the same high school except for you.
I should have included the high school I went to for like 2 months.
There you go.
That would have been funny.
That would have been a good one.
True, that was actually me before I moved.
Wait, that also would have been obvious.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It could have been a level 1 question, bro. Next, I am currently 270 pounds.
Golly.
I don't know how.
Dillyn, you really let yourself go.
Hey, you're not supposed to share that info. It's between us. You have no way of proving whether or not I weigh that much.
Gonna go out on a limb here and assume it's Tanner, but you know, maybe it is Dillyn, man. Maybe you have been fucking just chowing down.
I'm gonna assume it's Tanner as well.
To be fair, it's been so long since I sent in these prompts. This isn't even true anymore. I've literally dropped 10 pounds.
I've
in the
literally
last
crossed
week.
the 300 threshold.
I think it's only been a month.
Yeah, and I lost 10 pounds in 1 week. So
That's fair, actually. It's valid.
When are you gonna get back down to 220?
I'm hoping I can do it over the course of the next 3 months.
Okay.
There we go.
Maybe a bit ambitious, but we'll see.
Nah, dude, you got this, I believe. Easy. Alright, hopefully I don't remember the order these are in, so hopefully these get a little more...
The problem is my girlfriend does a lot of the grocery shopping and she loves snacks.
Dude,
I love eating
women
snacks.
fucking love their little treats now, don't they?
Also, women be shopping.
We live in
Yeah.
a treat world right now.
We all love treats, though. You just bought like 4 Ben & Jerry's like the last couple of days.
True.
Jackson, It's Raining Men is a big guilty pleasure song of mine. Who do you think that is?
That's
Ponder.
me, obviously. Just kidding, it's Nico.
Yeah, it's Nico. Jackson would have said that the Living Tombstone remix of it is his. We're all locking in Nico, and Nico's like jerking off right now.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it's Nico.
How'd you guys know?
That one, I
say
thought
it
that
a
one
lot.
honestly could have been vague enough, Nico. I was rooting for that one. Gonna be completely honest.
Which of
But,
these
you know.
other guys would like It's Raining Men? Tanner thinks it's gay and Jackson has never heard of the song.
Dude, I think this song's a bop.
That's fair enough.
I
You
listen
could
to
also
fucking
like
I
it.
do
Everything.
like this song. I wouldn't call it. I mean, it's a pretty famous song. I don't know that it even qualifies as a guilty pleasure.
I think it's... I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it. We're gonna move on. I
Okay.
wear size 13.5 shoes. Or 13 and a half if you're cultured.
I don't think Nico's got that big of feet, so I'm gonna... Wait, no, this could be fucking Dillyn. Tanner, you got some massive fucking tootsies on you.
He's
What
got
are you,
some
what
big
are you
old
voting?
clown shoes he wears.
I mean,
Yeah.
I usually associate like shoe size with how tall people are, so usually the
I
taller
need to
people
gather
are.
info here. Tanner, please
I
lock in
usually
your answer.
associate with how big their dicks are.
I'm gonna go
That
out
was-
into the living room here real quick and check out Jackson's shoes. I'll be right back.
There we go. He's fucking metagaming the hell out of this.
I think Jackson has at least above average shoe size.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that tall, but my shoe size is pretty up there.
Nico has small feet though. You walk in and you look at the shoe rack and you're like, I didn't know an Asian woman lives here.
Yikes.
That's not true. Nico has average feet. Blake, on the other hand,
Blake's got some tiny tootsies.
Damn.
it is. I actually laugh to myself anytime I see his shoes. I'm like, oh my gosh, he has such small feet. That's so funny.
They're so
no.
dainty and yet so smelly somehow.
All right, so it's either Dillyn or Tanner. Which one do I go for here? I don't
Are you
think
saying you have
Dillyn's.
Jackson's shoe size memorized?
No, he literally walked out of his room and checked and then walked back in. I heard his
Did you
door.
actually?
What a
You
queer.
fucking
feel like-
cheater.
I feel like Dillyn's shoes can't possibly be that big. Like,
You're
there's
telling me
just
you don't
no
remember
way.
the size of my shoes? Come on, man.
I'm just gonna say Tanner too, because I cannot fathom that Dillyn has a bigger shoe size than me when I've got like a foot on him in height.
Yeah,
I think Jackson's trying to misdirect us, and I'm gonna say Jackson.
I'm locking in Tanner.
Anyway, so Tanner is going Jackson, and Nico and Jackson are going Tanner. It is, in fact, Tanner. It was a valiant
Unbelievable.
effort, Tanner. I apologize. I tried to help you, my
More like
dude.
a Valium effort, am I right?
It was, yeah. Alright, moving on. Enough to... Oh, Jesus. Alright.
I could potentially believe this is Dillyn, though.
The GTRs are
That's
fucking
true.
sick, dude. I think those cars... like...
Yeah, favorite? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Dillyn, actually.
Yeah, I think they're pretty fucking sick. I like the
Okay.
sunken taillights. And they got a nice long body, too. Like, they don't have a ton of interior space, but, like, fuck it. They're, like, all-wheel drive, hella horsepower, like, fast,
I like my
sporty
cars like I like my women. A nice long body. Headlights.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lock in Dillyn on this one.
I'm going Jackson.
Alright.
I'm gonna go Dillyn as well.
Okay, that's fair. And it is, in fact, Jackson. Tanner
Oh my
got
God.
duped.
I duped myself even.
I don't know
He
why I
did it.
helped Jackson.
I don't... Yeah, I don't know why you did either, but hey, good on you, mate. Jackson, I am shocked. That was such a... Anyway.
Unfortunately, I do have a lot of automotive-related answers here, so even if they're hard facts to know, comparatively to everyone else's, they're going to be very obvious, I think.
Right.
This is my go-to type of oil for my car.
I definitely should have included one that was like my hyper-specific dick length.
There you go.
I'm gonna hope nobody heard what you said, Jackson, and move on. My favorite Pokemon is Blaziken.
Nico.
How'd you guys know?
Maybe because
power of deduction.
you have a Torchic plushie for fucking Mochi.
Dude, I literally have a Blaziken plush sitting on my lamp right now.
You also have a blade. That's insane. Yeah, I guess there's no refuting this one. It is in fact Nico.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. Not gonna lie, minus me, because obviously I'm the quizmaster. This quiz is a lot closer than you guys think it is, to be quite
Whoa.
honest.
I mean, we're getting basically all of them correct because it's not very hard. So
We're in the early stages, dude. Just you
Yeah, I was
wait.
gonna say we're ramping up here.
We're still in
Hopefully.
like 2 out of 10 territory.
Yeah, this is Nico's is I didn't know how to judge Nico's, so we'll see how this goes. And hopefully it won't go in some repeating order, so don't be writing down people's names thinking it's going in some sequential order. Well,
that makes me think it is going in sequential order.
well, then try to meta the system, I guess. I have 2 dogs.
Anyway, Dillyn.
Dillyn.
Yeah, Dillyn.
Have you considered that maybe
Next.
you guys have fucking dogs
We don't
laying
need to
around?
make a conversation out of the easy ones. Let's keep it rolling here.
God damn it, Tanner. Fine, fuck you. My favorite animal is the chinchilla.
It's Jackson.
I thought this one was Nico.
I mean, Nico, do you like chinchillas?
They're okay, I guess.
What? Dude, they're so fluffy! I love them. They have big old bushy tails.
We guessed
They're
it.
fat.
Let's move on.
Okay, fine. I'm trying to help Jackson out here, man. Give me a break.
Why?
Trying to,
You know why.
Because I'm the quiz master. I'm trying to make sure you guys get the most
He's
amount
the
of points
number one
possible.
Jackson dick writer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, guys. Way to just kill the vibe. I've broken both of my pinky toes within the same week. Brutal for whoever this happened to. I feel truly sorry for them.
I think this is Dillon jacking himself off. I think he is the one that broke both of his pinky toes in the same week.
I guess that's one way to put it.
Now, I can't actually recall what any of your guys' feet look like, but in my head, Jackson has the most fucked up feet, so I'm gonna say Jackson.
I've got bent toes.
Okay.
Jackson's feet are pretty fucked up. Okay, so Dillon lore here. This did in fact happen to him. You both have locked in your answers already, so nice try, Tanner. You can't try switching over.
Can I change in my lock-in?
You already said Dillon.
Yeah, before Nico says anything, can we change?
No, you cannot. Nico, go. Please elaborate, Nico.
Yeah, it was me. I did it.
Good job, dude.
I feel like I knew that, but for some reason I still went Dillon.
This one was a very vague one.
Very vague. I feel like that's all the information you need.
No, I meant like this is like one of those ones that you wouldn't know just casually. Anyway,
whatever. He's using the word vague wrong. Let's move on.
Moving on. I drive a Honda.
Nico.
I mean, this could be Dillon as well.
Oh yeah.
But Nico drives a Honda. Like, let's not get things twisted here.
I don't think that Nico would put that he drives a Honda. I don't think he has any concept of what manufacturer made his car,
like
so I'm going Dillon.
Okay, hang on, Jackson. I know I drive a Honda at the very least.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like bare minimum he would say he drives a Honda. Maybe not like a Honda Accord or whatever he drives. I don't think he'd put that as one of his
fucking questions, though.
That's also true. I wouldn't do that. I think it's Dillon. Hang on. What kind of car does Tanner have, though? Jackson, you would know.
He's got like a fucking Ford Escape or some shit, like a 2017 Ford Escape, I think.
That sounds about right. Dillon, then.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Nico.
Okay, so Jackson and Nico say me, and Tanner says Nico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was me!
Unbelievable.
I was really hoping Nico wasn't fucking misdirecting there with all the I wouldn't say that type shit.
It did that is why I decided to stick with him, because it very much felt like he was trying to throw us off.
I was really worried there.
Yeah. The deception can backfire, I will say. I listen to Japanese music almost exclusively. I will say, Japanese music is a top favorite. It is very good music.
Okay, so it's Jackson then.
This does apply to Dillon and Jackson, but Jackson's the only one who would mention it.
The key word here, almost exclusively, kind of makes it obvious as well. Dillon listens to a lot of extra shit here.
I mean,
True.
like, on All Day Friday, though, that's all I listen to be completely honest. Like, I'll just listen to
that's one day out of the 7 it'll make.
Anyway, I guess we're all locking in Jackson then.
Yeah.
I'm locking in
Holy
myself.
I should have honestly deleted almost exclusively and just I listened to Japanese music, and that probably would have made it a little more, you know. Moving on. I own 8 consoles. We're all gamers here. Who do we think it is? Who is the rich boy out of all of us?
I don't know how many consoles Nico owns, but I'm going to go ahead and assume it's Dillon, because I know you have a bunch of retro ones.
Yeah, I feel like I'd notice if Nico had 8.
But you're not there right now, Tanner. That's the problem. How would you know?
Tanner, were you aware I own an SNES Classic?
I don't think I was, but like, I don't know. I feel like I guess it's possible he's got ones in storage.
Dude, I literally have a Minecraft Xbox One S sitting on my fucking... What the fuck is it called? Entertainment center. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I have it sitting in my entertainment center right now just because I like how it looks. It looks like a Minecraft dirt block, and on the back of it has redstone, and when you turn it on, it makes Minecraft noises.
It's very cool.
Chicken jockey, am I right?
Yes! I don't get that reference, but...
I'm gonna go Dillon, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dillon as well.
God damn it. Fair enough, though. I do never get rid of my consoles.
What's great is Dillon did know the point of this game is to fool people, and he still did answers for himself that wouldn't fool us.
That's fine.
I mean, this one I could definitely attribute to Nico. I don't know how many he has, but 8 definitely seems high.
8 seems a tad gratuitous.
I wanted to put it... I figured the egregious...
What kind of a fucking loser owns 8 consoles?
I mean, I can... What do you mean? I can own them and not use them. Fuck you, Tanner.
That's worse, you know?
I don't know about that.
Sure.
If he's like keeping okay, well, let's see. If they're like collectible consoles, then I could definitely see it. If they're like special edition ones, then it's like, yeah, I've got these bad boys hanging on.
like
don't know
one of
if
them
It's
is
like a
special edition.
Wii in a storage bin somewhere.
No, I don't have a Wii. Anyway, moving on. At the homecoming dance, my crush grabbed my waist and had me grind against another girl. Who is this?
Hey, yo.
Hey,
Yeah.
yo.
You guys were all some pretty big catches in high school from what I heard. This could be any of you. I don't think it was me, because, you know, I'm not that.
I don't know who you heard that from.
I may have told him some fibs here and there.
Yeah, here and there. Bro lies to me all the fucking time. Let's not get
Dillyn,
things
you
twisted.
gotta move to Mac High, okay? We're getting mad putang onto regs, bro.
Have you considered that maybe I don't want that? Anyway.
To my knowledge, Nico is the only one of us that actually went to homecoming.
I went to
I'm
homecoming.
Gonna go Nico.
I went to homecoming.
I went to every I went to
Well-
homecoming before I had the opportunity to go to homecoming.
Does this count as rape?
I could see it as sexual harassment. I wouldn't go as far as to say rape, I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a little far.
I'm going Nico.
I'm thinking... Did Jackson... No, Jackson's told me he had crushes on girls in high school. I'll go Tanner, though. Why not?
Tanner, did you give your answer? I can't remember.
Yeah, Nico.
Okay. Unfortunately, you couldn't throw him off, Nico. I'm sorry.
It was
Shocking.
me. It happened to me, dude.
What's the point of you answering last if we can't change our answers, buddy? What's the point of the deception if we've already logged in?
I
You gotta be
mean,
quicker than that.
I guess so.
fair enough, dude. Next one. My dream motorcycle is a
Jackson.
Yamaha R6 2017 to 2020. Now,
I'm saying Dillyn.
they are pretty sick motorcycles. Specifically yellow. I like the yellow color on these. They're very nice. And I like
Jackson's
the dual
also
lights.
said he likes the yellow color.
Dillyn, let me tell you something here, right? So if you start talking about why you like these things, you're making it incredibly obvious that it's not your answer.
Fair.
Dylan's brain just isn't built for deception, man.
That's not true. You don't know
Yeah,
that.
all you doing about talking about you liking these things is just trying to say, hey, it's not me, it's Jackson. Anyways, it's me.
I would love to try a game of Secret Hitler or Ultimate Werewolf with Dillyn just to see how bad he is at
I
it.
actually win those games quite frequently. I'm very good at Among Us.
Amogus. Okay, so...
Brings up something completely unrelated.
I figured it was the same vein.
My mind is obviously going to Jackson here, but, like, I could also see it just being Dillyn, and Jackson somehow is able to fucking throw me off into thinking it's Dillyn. I'm gonna flip a coin real quick, hang on.
Do it, dude.
Let me just,
I was into motorcycles first.
you were... And Jackson's told me what his dream motorcycle is on multiple occasions. It's all in one ear, out the other, though.
I was gonna say, how much of it did you retain?
I don't know if Jackson would, like, specify the year this way, though. I also don't know anything about motorcycles, though, so maybe this is the only version of it between those years.
It's because it's a very specific body style. But,
I'll just say
and
Jackson.
Usually the
Why
engine
not?
changes.
I'm just gonna go Jackson.
Fair enough.
Look at that.
Nico, please put up a picture of a 2017 to 2020 Yamaha R6 on the screen right now. Thank you.
Sure, why not? I'll toss it up there.
There we go. Look at that. All right, moving on. My favorite book is World War Z.
Tanner.
Tanner.
Dillyn?
Could it be?
Need I remind you, Tanner, your camera's on, so don't make fucking facial reactions when I read the prompt.
Dude, they're not looking at my face.
You don't know that. Oh, man. How unfortunate. Next one. I have a piece of lead stuck in my hand from stabbing myself with a pencil in elementary school. Brutal.
This is a tough one.
Was this me?
I feel like I remember Jackson telling this story.
I got some shit stuck in my fucking hand in elementary school.
Yeah.
What?
Here's the thing that's really throwing me off. It has to be someone retarded enough to think it's lead.
Okay, now hold on, buddy. I know what you're thinking. It's not me, so fuck off.
I'm saying Nico.
I don't know why the fuck you think it's me, but I
It's
feel
the art of
like
the deal, buddy. It's the art of the deal.
I feel like I also vaguely remember something about Jackson stabbing it. I'm just gonna go him. Sure, why not?
I'm gonna go Jackson as well, I guess, but the lead really is throwing me off.
I mean, hey, we all thought it was lead, didn't we?
This was actually childhood them.
It's me.
writing this
Damn.
down.
I'm just so sad that all of these stories about myself that are well known, that I always use as like those fucking introduction icebreaker things that they make you do in like high school and college, you guys just don't even fucking know about me. It's like you don't
I know them,
care.
dude. I know them. I just proved it.
Yeah, he did. I remember this fact about you, Nico. Don't worry.
I definitely knew this one. I was trying to fake out the other fucking Tanner to see if
Which
he would.
hand is it in, Jackson?
Who the fuck cares?
It's in your right hand.
Lucky guess.
It's not a lucky guess. You write with your left hand. Anyway, I was varsity high jump in track during high school.
Is this Tanner? It's Jackson.
This one's definitely Nico.
You know, proportionally, I was pretty good at high jump for my size. I'm
Is it
gonna
because
go
you're
Jackson.
tall?
What? No, it's because I'm fat.
I thought fat people couldn't jump high.
Are you?
He doesn't get the
Moving on.
Butterflies taking off in the wind. I don't need to address them. Peace and light, love and kindness.
Tanner said Jackson.
We all said
Nico
Jackson.
said. We all said Jackson. Okay, fair enough.
And it was in
Unfortunate.
fact him.
That's so crazy. I thought it was Nico.
This is so sad. I would have believed
can't
Tanner.
believe-
I have been friends with Nico for 24 years. All right, everybody, break out your calculators. Don't actually do that.
26 minus 24 equals
Yeah, I guess it has to be Dillyn. I don't.
Yeah, Dillyn.
Jackson, when did we
Yeah.
meet? It's Dillyn.
I think we met sometime in middle school.
I think we met in the womb.
Maybe.
Dude, that's so crazy.
And yeah, it was Dillyn. Look at that.
It was me, dude. Look at that.
It would have been much
Crazy.
funnier if Dillyn put like 15 years or something. Like the first couple
Or
of
it's
years.
like at
he's
Dude, I
least
can't be
15
bothered.
years.
I can't be
Yeah.
bothered to remember how long you guys have been friends for. I just know you guys have been friends for a long time.
Oh yeah,
This is
too
when
long. Even we're done.
I hate the beach.
That could be any
I
of
was
us,
about
to
to
be
say
honest.
that. This could be literally any of us.
Yeah, you guys thought I was fucking stupid for vague ass prompts. Shut the fuck up.
I'm saying Tanner.
Okay. I think it's Nico because I don't know why I'm prompting this because
I don't know
he
why
likes
you're
to quote
saying
the
it
thing
either.
from
You're the fucking host, bro. Step off. Stay in your fucking lane.
sand everywhere. Anyway.
Fucking.
I think I'm gonna go Nico. I guess.
Dylan's been to the beach more often than I think any of us.
That doesn't mean I enjoy it.
I'm gonna assume you do, though. I really don't know what Jackson or Tanner's opinions are. Tanner's in California, so I'll assume he likes the beach more than us. I'll say Jackson.
Gotcha. So Jackson says Tanner. Nico says Jackson. It is in fact Tanner.
Oh my god.
Congratulations,
Holy cow.
Tanner.
I'm completely nuts.
Dude, I was from the desert part of California.
They're saying there
Damn.
too, dude. What is it, the seawater you don't like?
It's the combination of seawater and sand.
Gotcha.
And the tons of people everywhere.
Yeah, and the minorities.
Oh my god,
Oh,
don't even get me
Jesus.
started.
Moving on. I was in band all throughout middle school and high school.
Tanner, did you play an instrument?
Yeah, I play a mean recorder.
Okay.
Dillyn did play the drums for a long time.
I didn't play drums till like later.
Watch out for my rendition of Hot Cross Buns.
Appreciate you, buddy. I'm
I'm
locking
pretty sure
in
this is
Dillyn.
Dillyn. Yeah.
Okay.
Nico?
Jackson played instruments in middle school for sure. I don't know if he played them all throughout high school though. I'm just gonna lock in who I know for sure did, and I'll say Dillyn.
Fuck. I was hoping that was vague enough.
Look at
That's so
that.
unfortunate.
That's not. You don't.
There's at
I'm
least
letting it go. My thoughts are butterflies. They're flying away. I don't
that
need
could be
to.
two of us, dude.
I'm not. Nothing. I'm not doing anything. I'm peace
I'm
and
gonna be
love.
completely fucking for real with you guys. I voted Dillyn as a bit because I thought I was the one that put this shit in.
Did you play instruments in high school too, Jackson?
Yeah, I didn't play it senior year. I quit because they forced us to do fucking marching band, and I hated that shit.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I did it all throughout middle school and up until junior year.
Okay, gotcha.
I genuinely thought that was my question. That's
Boom.
funny as hell.
Fucking
very
got him,
funny.
guys. Doesn't matter in the end, but you know, here we are. One Piece is the only book I've read that has made me cry.
That's Tanner. He told me that in confidence earlier.
There's no way you've never cried about a book outside of One Piece. I don't believe that, Nico.
I don't believe it either. That's
Tanner?
what I'm saying, Tanner.
Well, I'm still saying Nico because none of us have fucking read One Piece except for your
You've
ass.
also read One Piece, and Tanner's currently reading through it.
I know I didn't fucking cry though.
So that means
We
it could
might be
still
stretching
Tanner.
the definition of currently, but I did read the first 3 chapters.
Only 3 chapters? Dude, you gotta get on that shit. You have like 95
I need to find
more
a
to
site
go.
I can read it on. Also, I was finishing up Invincible, you know?
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. So Jackson says Nico. Nico says Tanner.
Yeah, I'm going
Tanner, what do you
Tanner.
I'm
say?
gonna say Nico.
Okay. You didn't fool anybody, Nico.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it was a losing battle, frankly. I don't know how I could.
Yeah. Some of these are too on the nose. Anyway, my first smartphone was a hand-me-down.
This one's pretty tough, not gonna lie.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Is this all of us?
It could
Yeah,
be
I
any of
imagine
us.
this is probably true of all of us, so it's just a question of who would write this.
Dude, I'll just break the ice right now and say it definitely wasn't me. My parents would not allow me to get a smartphone, and I had to fucking work for it. I had to go to fucking Jimmy John's, get my fucking cash, and then buy one for Black Friday. So I know it's not me, it's one of you fuckers. I'm guessing it
I don't like how you said Black Friday like that.
Black Friday. I'm guessing it. You see, whenever I think of hand-me-downs, I think of like a sibling being the one who gives it to you. And Dillyn and Tanner don't have older siblings. Asterisks there. And Jackson does. So
The asterisk just says not true.
yeah. So I'll just say Jackson.
Okay.
I don't fucking know, man.
I'll go Dillyn.
Okay. I can't say my first phone was a
Shut
smartphone,
up.
but okay. You're wrong, but okay.
I'm gonna say Dillyn, I guess.
Okay. It was Tanner!
What?
Good job, Tanner. You
Dude, that
threw him
wins me
off.
the game, right? My first smartphone was some piece of shit Garrison gave me.
Oh.
Oh.
That's very
That's
funny.
Mine was a fucking iPhone 5 my mom gave me.
Yeah, my first smartphone was an iPhone 4, but I got it after my fucking, like, LG Rumor Touch that I had in middle school, so...
I mean, it says for a smartphone, not phone in general.
Yeah, I know, that's why I said my first smartphone was an iPhone 4.
Oh, this is
my
Dillyn,
favorite
for sure.
emoji is... Oh.
This is definitely Nico. That was an immediate fucking self-report from him.
Oh. That's good, I guess.
I guess Nico is the only one gay enough to have a favorite emoji.
That's an interesting conclusion.
Most Tanner response of all time.
That is
that is the most Tanner response we've had thus far. It's true, though.
It was
is Nico's
me.
favorite emoji.
What do you guys think is the most cringe thing about yourself?
I guess we'll find out after we're done with this fucking quiz.
Yeah, we've got some depths
Well,
to delve
hang on.
into
I just
here,
want the
guys.
answer now.
Wrong. You'll figure it out later.
All right. After the quiz, we're gonna talk about that prior to Guapish the movies.
Post-flop.
Post-squab. Bringing it back. I think I could genuinely be good friends with a clone of myself.
This one's too quirky to be anyone but Nico.
Who's the most self-centered person in this call?
God damn.
That's Tanner.
I think I'd fucking hate being friends with myself personally.
Tanner would be like that tag team dude. He'd like enroll himself into tag wrestling matches and just fucking obliterate the competition. I could see it.
I'm saying Dillyn on this one.
Yeah, I feel like being a fucking tag team duo is different from just like being friends with each other.
Well, you know, you'd have to have a level of trust there. I could see myself
You're
getting
telling
along
me
really well
that
with
that's
myself.
not a common thing for friends to do, to enter amateur wrestling competitions together?
I just think that
Tanner, I would
they're.
have done it. You just have to tag me in.
I think there are
I just
different
am-
prerequisites required other than just being good friends.
I don't know. That's like the first thing that came to mind when I thought of like Tanner being friends with a clone of himself.
I could also see
I'd
it,
become
though.
a domestic terrorist if I had a perfect clone of myself. I would
Oh my
yeah, there you go.
god, Jesus!
I'd commit terror attacks in multiple locations, and
Oh.
then try and argue that means I couldn't have done either of them.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
I'm going Tanner.
Okay,
Nico.
Nico Jackson.
I said you.
Okay, good job, Nico. You threw off the scent of one person.
Holy smokes.
I should have known he was that self-centered. I should have
Listen,
known.
I don't think it has anything to do with being self-centered. I just think that I would
think
be
it
able
does.
to.
Somebody that's not a self-centered person would think it's not self-centered.
I just think that I would be able to match my own vibe pretty well.
I think the most cringe thing about myself is that I think I could genuinely be good friends with a
Dude,
clone myself.
the cringe gets far worse than that. Are you fucking kidding, Tanner? Come on, dude.
That's why I
We're
said I
still-
wanted to wait till the quiz was over for us to answer that question.
Are we still at, like 4 out of 10s?
What are we at? 32? We're about halfway, so I'd say we're just leaving the 4s.
Halfway. Oh, right, there's fucking 60.
Yes, sir. Speaking of,
Hell yeah.
there's 60. I played football, basketball, and baseball.
Well, only one of us here is half black, so I'm gonna go Dillyn.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean, Tanner?
I like how Dillyn is unaware of every racial stereotype somehow.
I'm not. That was a rhetorical question for one thing, but also, fuck
It
you.
wasn't a question at all.
What the fuck
I
is that
feel like
supposed to mean?
no.
Isn't a
What
question?
Dylan said had a question mark at the end of it. Come on.
You're right. I forgot what he said
Okay.
immediately.
You nonce.
I'm also going Dylan.
Anyway, so Jackson.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you as well. I think the only other option. I mean, I did this as well.
You played
but I definitely
football?
didn't write it as my answer.
you played
Yeah,
football.
I played football. I played all 3
Oh
of
my
these.
god! I had no
Holy
idea.
smokes!
I did fucking like every sport. I played soccer as well, all sorts of shit.
Oh my god!
He was trying to stay out of the house.
My mom was forcing me to. I had no fucking choice. I hated all of them.
I hated football, but I enjoyed baseball and basketball. But I was bad at both. Well, I was bad at basketball. I was really good at baseball, though.
I was genuinely a bench warmer for every single fucking sport I played on.
Dude,
I was
same.
actually tremendously bad at all of them.
Funny thing, you can't be a bench warmer in baseball, so that's the only one I can't say I was a bench warmer for.
I was a fucking bench warmer in baseball. If I wasn't playing far left field, doing fuck all the entire game, I was on the bench, and I was on the bench most of the time.
I was right outfielder. Outfielders have an important part to play. Anyway, moving on. My bench press PR is 285 pounds.
Now, guys, Jackson has been in the gym recently.
He sure has.
Well, I did have that stretch of 2 years in the gym, to be completely fair.
It's Tanner.
If I could bench like twice my body weight, that would be insanely impressive. That'd be fucking sick.
That should be your goal, dude.
I can't remember if my PR was ever 285 though, so I can't confirm whether or not that's
There's
true.
no fucking way you're even close.
How do you know? You guys didn't go to the gym with me all the time, and when we did, you were never working out with me.
How many plates can you bench?
What do you think your 1 rep max on the bench is, Dillyn?
I mean, I don't have any way of verifying that, dude. I've never
I mean,
tried.
how many fucking plates do you do, or do you even do bench
I
regularly?
like how Tanner is like just putting Dylan down here and making it so that there's no way we could possibly think it's anyone other than Tanner. Like, it's impossible for it to be you, Dylan. Shut the fuck up.
I don't think Dillyn could even get 200, to be completely honest.
I think that's a lie. I think I could do 200.
Please record a video of you doing that. I'd like to be
Do
impressed.
you know how much the heaviest you've ever done is?
I use dumbbells whenever I press, so it's hard to say.
Interesting. Well, I mean, how much are you dumbbell pressing?
I max out at 75 per arm once, so
For 1 rep, or are you doing
for
multiple?
for multiple.
Okay, reveal it's Tanner now.
Okay.
I just want to calculate
Holy
it.
smokes,
I
there
got
he
lost in
is.
the
There's
sauce.
him.
That's so
It's
crazy.
Unbelievable.
the boy. Look at him. Anyway, moving on. My favorite piece of media is Clan Ad.
Jackson.
It's Jackson.
You guys don't know Dylan's anime list like I know Dylan's anime
He
list.
put
and I
it
know
like
this is
number
Dillyn.
7 or some shit.
No, actually, to be completely fair, the more I thought about it, the higher up it went on my list.
No way.
And also, it's hard to justify that Clan Ad. It's hard to put it in the same list as everything else I've watched. It's completely different.
Has it surpassed Fairy Tale?
And that's why it's his favorite piece of media ever.
Like, honestly, I think it's at the top of my list just based on, like, the reflections I put on the show. Like, I genuinely would put it above everything else I've watched.
Hang on, let me find the reaction image real quick.
Okay.
How do I make Jackson like me more?
I mean, you guys can say whatever the fuck you want. I genuinely think Clan Ad's probably one of the best anime I've ever watched.
One of the best.
Him and I were bawling our eyes out on my bed together for like 3 hours straight. It
Yeah,
was
that
fucking
shit was
manly.
nuts, dude.
This isn't about one of the best films. This is about the best. This is about your favorite, dude.
It's hard to quantify favorite. I have a lot of favorite distinct things about each anime that I watch, and Clan Ad does a lot of things right, fortunately.
Okay, we're all locking in Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine though.
Holy smokes. It was him.
Imagine I got his ass.
That actually,
Imagine all the people.
I could have subbed out people for each of these if I really wanted to, just for the fake out, but I wanted to stay true to the quiz.
Are you saying you could have just lied and made the
No,
game?
like, I actually, this genuinely could...
Is that what you just said?
No, I'm saying that this genuinely could be me, but just like, the
Okay.
brown hair thing. Anyway, moving on. My first job was at a cannery when I was 15.
Dylan's the only one who has, like, an Oliver Twist-style life where this could be true of him.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I think this is immediately Tanner, because there's no way he just said Oliver Twist in a fucking podcast episode.
Okay, but, like, the thing is, Tanner doesn't know what a cannery is.
There's no way he doesn't know what a cannery is, dude. I think everybody knows what a cannery is.
Tanner probably looked at that and thought it said canary, okay?
Yeah, he was fucking managing birds.
Tanner, do you know what a cannery is?
Yeah, it's a place where they can things.
Yeah, get fucked, Nico.
That's a lucky guess.
Pretty self-explanatory.
Okay, buddy.
I genuinely have no fucking idea who this could be. I don't know what any of your guys' first jobs were.
Fair
I'm locking
enough.
in Dylan.
Okay.
Frankly, I think it's at least not Nico, because you seem privileged enough to start working at like 18
I
or some
fucking
shit.
said what my first job was earlier in this episode.
He did, it's
Yeah, I
true.
fucking remember
Nico
that
would
shit.
never choose to work in a cannery.
I've worked in similar enough places throughout college. I'm going Dillyn, though.
Okay. Tanner, you also said me?
Yeah.
Okay. To be fair, I did not willingly get this job. It's got a wild
Oh, it
story
was
behind
slave
it.
labor. Like I said, Oliver Twist.
I was also
Well-
forced into getting a job at 15 I did not
I
want to
was
do.
forced into getting a job, too, but it was at 16.
The long story short was I wanted some under the table money, and when we went to the office thinking we were about to get paid, we were signing a W-2. So there we go.
Damn.
I perform a Kamehameha, Gallic Gun, or Final Flash on Mochi every single day.
Jackson, why do you do that?
Speaking of the most cringe things ever, Nico.
Listen, I gave you guys the liberty to expose whatever the fuck you wanted about yourself, so don't blast me for when something you didn't want said out loud gets said out loud.
Dude, I knew all of these things would get said out loud, and yet I told them to you anyway.
That
We
is
love
true.
you for that, Nico. You're really bearing your heart out here.
Exactly. I feel like my answers are so much more true to myself, you know?
I could see this
I
being
wish I
Jackson
knew
if Jackson
what
had
this
watched
game
Dragon Ball.
was, so I could have put insane lies in here to get people to tell on themselves. Like, I would have written, I'm a pedophile, and just see how we go.
Yeah.
That is an idea for the future. We write absolute lies and try to pin it on
There
other
we go.
people
This topic again, but with more content.
with lies. That'd be fucking gas. Alright, here we go.
Just things that aren't true.
I was previously a server.
Jackson.
True.
Dylan.
Okay.
And the thing he's serving is cunt, am I right, guys?
Jesus. I was about to say, I'm constantly left out of, like, you guys were like, oh, Jackson's a server. Guys, I was a server for a pretty lengthy
That's
amount
what I
of
was
time,
about
too.
to say.
I feel so
I
left
was
out.
gonna say, alright, so listen. Jackson is the obvious go-to here, but this seems like the kind of answer Dillyn would add to make it so that Jackson could easily get points. So I'm gonna say it's...
Would I put this as an answer this late in the game, too?
I think you would,
True.
but I also think Dillyn would do it. So I'm gonna say Dillyn.
I mean,
I am gonna switch my answer to Dillyn because I think Jackson would just say I was a server. Using previously in this really awkward, not quite English way is something Dillyn
I was
would
previously a server
Okay.
once upon a time.
Jackson, what was your answer? You said me?
Yeah.
Valid, dude. I always get left out. Anyway, fuck all of you. I left
Damn.
these phrases the way they were typed, quite frankly, so fuck you, Tanner.
Damn.
do. Okay, I'm sorry. It seems like, adding in unnecessary words, and it just makes me think of you.
We need to make fun of Jackson more is really what we've learned from this.
That's true.
I see,
Jackson
what
really
the fuck is wrong with me
skates
putting
by.
previously? I'm sorry for adding whimsy to my sentences.
Jackson, you stupid piece of shit. Type like a human.
Oh my god. To be fair, fun fact, this did say I was previously a bartender and server, but I removed the bartender part so it would be a little harder to guess.
Can we rewind to 15 seconds ago when Dillyn said word for word? I left them as they were written.
I had to change a couple of them. I changed
changed
some of
Jackson's
the
to
wording
make
for all
them
of
more
your
vague.
guys's. No, I changed all of your guys'. Some of you guys were a little too specific. And also
Unfortunately,
weren't
there's no
speaking
way you
proper-
can change mine to make them any less vague.
Yeah, yours was a little. Yours were a little difficult. Tanner's was not specific enough. I know cursive. I hope we all know cursive. Do we all know cursive?
I think I knew cursive when I was like in elementary school.
Do you ever truly forget though? I mean, truly
Yeah,
we all
clearly.
have
How much
signatures.
of us know cursive and not just how to write our signature?
I mean,
My,
I feel
my
like.
signature isn't even fucking cursive. It's just some scribbles.
I mean, also that. I mean, I feel like it's like riding a bike. Once you learn cursive, you never forget.
I disagree.
That's just wrong.
Oh.
I can barely fucking write on pencil and paper nowadays, bro. I'm so used to a
I
keyboard.
do not know what
That's
most
fair.
letters in cursive look like outside of the ones in my name.
Are you telling me you can't read a cursive letter if you get one?
I think this is Dillyn.
I think it's Dillyn as well.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go Tanner, actually.
I'm definitely leaning more towards Tanner now because he immediately said that, but I'm still sticking with Dillyn.
This is a very flip-floppy prompt here. Okay, so
Except nobody flip-flop.
it
I
is
fell
in
for the
fact
bait, guys.
It
Tanner.
is.
Yeah.
You need to
Tanner.
shut your fucking trap and be a host and stop being a yapper.
Dude,
You're confusing me.
It's so funny though, dude. It's so funny. We're having a great time right now. And also, get fucked,
You're
I
doing
guess.
way too much work for everyone here. You need to just let us do the job.
All right. I've owned 6 cars.
Tanner's owned a lot of cars. I don't know
Nice
if it's
try,
6, though.
Jackson. It's you, dude.
How many cars do you think I've owned?
Alright, so let's
I've owned
see
more.
here. There was the
I've owned more than 6.
Well, let me count here
The
real
thing
quick.
is, I don't really. I have a vague idea of Jackson's history of owning cars. I don't know anything about Dillyn or Nico's history of owning cars.
And that's the way I want to keep it, brother. You'll never know how many cars I've owned.
I'm saying Tanner. I don't really know. I know Nico's had like 3. I don't think Dillon's had that many either. And Tanner, you're the only unknown factor here, and I know it's not me.
Okay, so...
I think you're trying to mislead me into voting for myself, Jackson, so I'm gonna go you.
Alright, so I did the math in my head, and by that I mean I counted. And Jackson
That's good.
has in fact owned more than 6 cars. Now, whether or not there was initially more to this question that Dillyn cut out is tough to say. Tanner, I
didn't change all of
Tanner
them.
definitely has not owned this many cars. I know that for sure.
I find that hard to believe.
You never know, though, man. You think you know a guy, and then he's owned 6 fucking cars.
I mean, like, you know, Tanner owned the one that smelled like Tootsie Rolls. Then he owned, like, some beater car. Then he owned some other car that crapped out on him on his way to Texas. Then he got his current car, I believe. Maybe he got one... Like, even if he got one more in between then, that would still only be 5 cars. I just don't believe that he got 6 of them. And Dillyn, I definitely don't think has owned 6 cars. So
How many cars do you think I've owned?
maybe like 3 or 4. I definitely don't think it's been 6 though. Like owned, definitely not. I have to go Jackson. I don't think there's anyone else it could be.
So Nico and Tanner are supposed to say Jackson, and Jackson says Tanner.
Yeah.
It was Tanner.
What the fuck?
Holy cow.
Where did you get all of these?
So, I had the 1996 Chevrolet that I got from
Yeah,
my
the
grandpa.
Tootsie Roll car.
Then I had my 2016 Toyota Corolla. Then I had my 2006 Honda Civic. Then I had my 2017 Ford something or other. Then I had my 2020 Toyota Corolla, and then now I have my 2017 Ford Escape.
No wonder you're in so much debt. Jesus Christ.
I had 2 cars shit the bed on me in Texas.
Oh, damn. I actually genuinely thought this was Jackson. I didn't mean to mislead it to Tanner. I honestly forgot this was Tanner's. I genuinely thought this was Jackson.
I thought you fucking changed my answer to say 6, and then you're gonna do some loophole like, technically you've owned 6 because you've owned 8.
Technically, Tanner, you've anyway. The longest amount of time spent what the fuck? The longest amount of time I've spent unemployed since getting my first job is 2 months. This is a fucked up prompt.
I'm gonna say, yikes, Nico.
It's a valid response.
I'm thinking this one's Dillyn, actually.
You would say that, the guy that's only had 2-month gaps in between unemployment.
Yeah. I don't think I've really had any gaps in my employment, except for, like, when I quit working at fucking C's Candy. I think there was, like, 2 weeks, maybe?
2 months even.
Yeah, 2 months where I didn't have a job. Wait, Huh. How long did I not have a job after that?
This is what we're here for,
This
baby!
actually is his prompt. He doesn't fucking remember.
This is what we're talking about! Let's go!
I don't know. I don't think it was 2 months though. I don't think it was that long.
This is a big deception play from Nico. All in on him.
I'm pretty certain this one's Dillyn.
Okay.
I think this is pretty believable for any of us.
I don't think it's believable for Jackson, quite frankly. But...
Jackson, I know for sure had a larger gap than 2 months.
Oh, well, no.
I guess I'll go Jackson as well then.
Okay.
As well.
So...
I didn't say Jackson.
Oh, I thought you said Jackson.
No, I said that he definitely wasn't.
So Nico says...
I'm saying
I'm
you,
gonna go
Dillyn.
Jackson, whatever.
Yeah, Nico says me, Jackson says Nico, Tanner says Jackson. Congrats, Tanner, you fooled 2 of them.
I just didn't think it could be Tanner again was the problem because it's kept being Tanner.
Now, I just want to say for the record, I just checked the list I sent Dillyn. It being fucked up like this is his fault entirely. I
God
did
damn
not
it,
write
stop
it like
checking
this.
the list, you motherfucker. You weren't supposed to say that.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't the retard
It wasn't
in this
you.
situation.
I even went back to proofread everything, and I guess I didn't look at this one because it was too long or something. I don't know.
This was the 2 months in between me losing that campaign job, and then it was like 2 months until I was able to get a job at the Texas State Capitol.
There we go.
I could have been willing to believe it was you. I just didn't think it would be.
That was when I had to sell my Xbox and PS5 to make rent.
Oh, yeah. I've been clinically diagnosed with both ADHD when I was younger. I honestly...
2 in a row. Brutal.
Are there 2 different kinds of ADHD?
No, it's just there was another thing that you missed when writing
No, like
this thing
actually,
down.
I didn't touch this one. Legitimately, I'm being like dead ass. I didn't touch this one.
I was diagnosed with both AD and HD.
Yeah.
This legitimately is how the prompt was sent.
Where do you guys fall on the whole ADHD is fake debate?
I wouldn't go as far as to say it's fake, but I do think it's like way overly diagnosed.
Yeah, I think
It's just so broad.
I just think it's people's brains operating differently. I don't think there's anything more to it than that.
I think I'm pretty firmly in the it is fake camp.
You would
And
be.
by fake, I just mean like it's actually totally normal human behavior that's being medicalized in order to give children literal amphetamines.
You're a sick and disgusting fuck, Tanner. You piece of shit. Okay, so I don't think this would be Dillyn because I don't think his mom would ever take him to someone who could diagnose him with ADHD. So I guess like it has to be Jackson then, right? It's been Tanner too many
No doctor
times
would
now.
say it's him though. The thing is, I feel like all of us have kind of a general malaise about us that we would never get confused for having this.
I think that Jackson and I, and also Dillyn, I was never around you as when you were a younger child, Tanner, so I simply don't know the answer for you, but I feel as though we all had an energy about us that could easily be construed as ADHD.
I very much think so. I can't prove whether or not I have it or not because I haven't gotten diagnosed and I choose not to, but, you know, I could very well have it. I don't know.
Is he saving his ass? I'm going Dillyn.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dillyn as well.
Okay. Nico?
And I went Jackson, so...
Alright, and it is Jackson.
Damn.
There it
Good
is.
job,
Oh,
Nico.
God.
You sussed it out. Jackson, good job for throwing him off.
Jackson did tell me he went to a therapist when he was younger.
I feel like it's been a while since one
My
of these have
mom
been
was
me.
very proactive with making me go to the doctor for fucking everything constantly.
Dude, I was supposed to get allergy tested when I was younger, and then we sat in the allergy clinic for like an hour and a half. My mom just left. I still don't know
Damn.
what I'm allergic to this day.
Damn.
I guess you'll fuck around and find out, huh?
I mean, I've lived for 26 years. I haven't died from anything yet, so I'm gonna assume I'm okay.
But have you really been living?
That's fair. What, Jackson?
I said, but you've never had shrimp, so...
I have. Okay, you're right.
Shellfish is gonna obliterate him.
It just kills him instantly.
Anyway, I used to have braces. Anybody here have fucked up teeth?
Tanner, I don't know if you did or not. We simply met in high school. You could have, and I would never know.
I genuinely have no clue on this one. This could be anyone.
Do you know if you had braces, Tanner?
It was probably so mortifying I blocked it out.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have no fucking idea who this could be.
To my knowledge, Jackson didn't have braces.
Nico's always had perfect teeth.
Yeah.
Nico seems like the kind of guy who could have used braces, but like he said no, people will make fun of me. And just lived with his fucked up teeth.
To be honest, Tanner, that does sound about right. It didn't happen, but I agree that seems like something that would.
I agree.
I'm gonna say Tanner because it's a fucking coin flip.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dillyn.
So Nico and Tanner say me, Jackson says Tanner. Let's fucking go!
Yeah, I did remember you had braces.
Yes, sir. God, I don't remember who. I think Jackson and Nico.
No, it was me and Nico that guessed you.
That's right. This is why they need
We
to
can't
be written
even
down.
count on these fucking scores now.
My favorite number is 27, and it was previously a very long-standing bit. Yeah, Tanner?
Jackson?
Is this a Jackson thing?
This is a Nico bit.
Nico does like his bits.
I'm a big bit guy. I love that coin. I love it when she bits down on my dong.
He had that whole shtick in high school where there was like, it was supposed to be some big secret as to why it was his favorite number, and he wouldn't tell anybody.
At one point, we were playing like Truth or Dare on the bus for cross country, and some girl, like, you know, while we were playing, like, at some point, like, Truth was called on me, and they just asked some dumb shit, like, how often do I jack off? And when in reality, that was the perfect opportunity to find out why I liked 27 so much, and they just didn't ask it.
Yeah. I distinctly remember the first time I ever met Nico, he said to me, you know, 27 is my favorite prime number, and I just didn't have the heart to tell him.
Alright, so, what are
It's
we...
Jackson.
Jackson? Tanner?
It's Nico, obviously.
Tanner, I'm assuming you're also saying Jackson. Or are you saying Nico?
You gotta answer the man, Tanner. He doesn't remember what you said.
Tanner, if you want me to keep accurate score, I suggest you answer.
Listen, the fucking food bowl was going off, okay? And I very clearly said Jackson, so I don't think I'm at fault here.
Whatever. I was indulging in the conversation.
Wow, it was Jackson. Check that out.
I've dated a trans woman.
Okay, Jackson.
My bad, I'm getting called the fuck out here, guys. Jesus.
Do you guys think Dillyn would get pretty violent if he was dating a girl and then he found out she was trans?
Yeah, the fucking, what do they call that? Like gay rage or some shit?
Yeah.
Is that... So, remind me, trans is when they were a dude and now they're a girl, or they're a dude that dresses like a girl?
I guess it's
Both.
it's a spectrum here. It could be either of those options,
Depends on what
depending
you
on how far they
believe
go.
of the whole situation, I suppose.
I don't believe at all, is the problem.
A self-identifying trans person could just be wearing the opposite gender's clothing, and they could still identify as that. I'm saying Tanner.
That's called a you silly.
Oh my
And
god, I need to
it-
bleep that out. Okay, it's
So
Tanner.
funny.
Can you not
I mean,
say
leave
that?
it in, but that's very funny.
Can you not say that? Is that bad?
No, you're not supposed to say that anymore.
Oh.
I mean, we don't care, but you're not supposed to. Like,
Oh.
don't say that in polite company, let's say.
I usually don't. I don't have the opportunity to do so, fortunately.
Call your sister that the next time you see her.
No. Anyway, moving on. It was Tanner.
Whoa.
My longest fast was 10 days.
Alright, boys. Has
Tanner.
Dillyn ever fasted? That's the question at play here.
I don't think if he did, he would have put that as one of his questions.
I mean, I
though,
do it all
so-
the time, but
I also don't think he would have put it as one of these. It's Tanner.
I could believe Jackson or Nico accidentally not eating for 10 days. I'm gonna go Nico.
Anyway.
That
I
that was a wild assertion, Tanner.
Well, you know.
You know, I gotta do what I can.
gotta do, yeah. It was, in fact, Tanner. Moving on. I've been on a 21-hour trip through about 5 or 6 states.
See, what sucks is they're both so bad at geography that I can't even use that 5 or 6 as a clue.
Oh, I see what you're trying to say. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
Damn. I guess I'll go Jackson.
Okay.
This one, can I get a 3-sided coin that I can pull up here real quick? Because quite honestly, I just don't know. I could see Tanner putting 5 or 6 as well. Because, like, he's cruised through this big old nation of ours so many times. Like, could he have just not remembered how many states it was? He wouldn't. He would remember, I should say, how many states it was exactly.
Yeah.
But Would he put 5 or 6? I feel like the 5 or...
Well, that's the thing. We didn't know that deception was an element of this game.
That's so true. That's so fucking true. But you would say these things to try and obscure the fact that it's you who said this. I'm busting out the 3-sided coin.
Holy smokes.
3-sided. Alright, let's see here. Who's it rolling? Apparently no one. It refuses to.
Crazy.
Shit, I'm saying Nico personally.
Alright, the dice was decided. It's Jackson.
Okay. What was your answer again, Tanner? You said Nico?
Jackson.
Oh, you said Jackson. It was me.
Holy
Damn,
cow.
that was my second guess.
I totally spaced on the fact that Tanner has traveled across the country, and I guess this could apply to him as well. Yeah, it was
I've done it more than any of us.
I've also traveled across the country. Not as much as Tanner, but I've also done it.
When I was but a wee lad, we traveled from Oregon to Nebraska to visit my siblings' family, and we decided to do it all in one drive. And my siblings' father drove for 3 of it, and then my mom drove 18 of it. So that was great.
You guys must have taken a pretty strange route. I think you can get there in only like 3 or 4 states. Unless you're counting the one you start and end in.
It says through, so you technically go through anyway.
No, but
they took a scenic route.
I really hate it when Europeans call a vacation a holiday.
That could be.
There's no way anybody but Tanner would put this shit as one of his fucking questions.
Tanner is extremely patriotic.
Tanner.
I'm guessing your answer was in fact Tanner, Jackson.
I was the first one to say it, frankly.
I'm just making sure you're locked it was Nico.
Yeah, I fucking despise this shit. It really grinds my gears. I've said so on the podcast before.
That's got me so fucked up, man. That's got me so fucked
Those
up.
motherfuckers saying shit like holiday and Zed. What the fuck is up with Zed? Those pieces of shit.
Yeah, fuck them. We invented the letter Z. They should have to pronounce it our way.
Yeah.
At least their schools aren't shooting galleries.
Yeah, but in their schools they refer to it as maths. Why the?
Oh yeah.
Like you're shortening mathematics. Why'd you shorten it but put the S back? What's up with that?
They're dimwits. Moving on.
I crashed a car on my birthday.
Okay, so Tanner's infamous car troubles, but we all know it's Jackson.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I put this as my fucking option or not, though. I'm gonna say Dillyn, I guess. I don't know.
It was Jackson.
Whoa.
This is one of those like hyper-specific ones where I was like, probably shouldn't be that specific about it.
Jesus, I just sneezed so loud it actually hurt my throat.
How about that?
Dude, when I sneeze that hard, it hurts my lungs or my chest or whatever the fuck you want to call it anyway. I have had 5 jobs. I genuinely don't remember who this is.
I guess we're gonna find out. Alright, let me count through each of you here real quick, so...
I would find it shocking if you could recall how many jobs I've had.
Nico's had a billion fucking jobs.
Tanner, stop counting your jobs where we can fucking see it, you lunatic.
Why would I need to count my own jobs?
I don't know. I just figured that's what you were doing. Anybody care to wager? Just go for it, guys. I believe in you.
I'm counting right now.
It's a total toss-up between all 3 of you for me, personally. I'm just gonna break the ice and say Tanner, I guess. I don't know. Wait, no, that's definitely... 5 is definitely too low. I'm saying Nico.
Nico,
Yeah, I'm gonna go Nico.
I find it very hard to believe you're gonna recall all of us in our jobs.
I'm just that good, though. I'm saying Dillyn.
Okay,
He actually has a little diary he keeps where he writes down everything that's ever happened to any of us.
I like keeping tabs on you guys. Information is a big thing that's important to me.
Oh,
See?
it was me.
Look at that.
Oh, it was.
God damn it.
I actually
You
forgot it
fooled
was...
us all.
I actually forgot this was my prompt.
I have
what was
had
that?
500 bajillion jobs. I could
had-
not
yeah,
possibly
exactly.
remember all of them.
Cannery, Blockhouse, fucking Maggot.
He's about to realize that this isn't even true.
I've had 5 jobs. Oh, there we go. The more you know, I suppose. I have 2 aunts.
Huh.
Vague
I hope you guys
statement.
aren't offended that I don't really know much about your extended families.
No, I'm fucked up over that. Why the fuck wouldn't you know anything about my family?
I know for sure there are women on Jackson's side of the family. The crazy Haleys, as they were. Tanner, though... His mom kind of strikes me as an only child. I don't know about his dad, though. And Dillyn, I don't fucking know.
Neither do I.
Exactly. I'll say Jackson. I'll just lock him in. But, like, would Jackson say
Okay.
this for a question?
I mean, quite frankly, I think any of us can say anything, but
This is other fucking. I have no idea.
I'm
I'm
just
saying
say
Nico.
Jackson.
I'm
okay,
gonna say Dillyn.
fair enough. And congratulations to Tanner for fooling
No
everybody
way.
and with his family affairs.
Oh, he got
Dude,
my
my
ass,
mom
man.
is in fact an only child, and my dad does in fact have
There
two
it is.
sisters.
I need to get to know your dad a little bit more, I suppose.
I am not super well connected to my mom's side of the family, and I, at maximum, know 50% of my dad's side of the family. And that's
I also have two
probably
aunts.
being generous. Yeah, it's
There we go. I
Big
knew
ass
it, dude.
statement.
I knew.
point to Nico. In Japan, I used a
I
Tenga.
literally talked about this earlier, like yesterday with Jackson. It's him.
You didn't confide in the fact that you used one to me, but I'm just going to assume from the context it was in fact you.
I mean,
Well, now I don't know which one.
I was gonna say this is a 50-50. The two of us haven't been to Japan.
I don't know what the fuck a Tenga is.
A Tenga's a fleshlight,
You
Tanner.
know what?
What?
Nico won't have bothered learning the name of it. I'm gonna go Jackson.
Okay, so that's 2 for Jackson and 1 for Nico. It was Nico
me.
though.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Frankly, I didn't even consider it, and then randomly he came into my room like
It
a
wasn't
couple
in
days
your
ago
room. It
and
was
asked
out in
me if I
the
had
fucking
enough.
living room.
The whole apartment's our
Oh,
room,
okay.
honey. Let's not go crazy here.
Oh man, is a Tenga legitimately a
Yeah.
flashlight?
Yeah, it's like a little egg thing.
No, the one I used was like the one that looks like kind of like a shake weight, sort of.
Oh,
yeah.
one of those ones. Okay, I thought you would have got the ones that looks like a child.
I am. I am more glad now that I didn't fucking look up what a Tenga was when I was writing this prompt. Whew, boy.
I should have got one of the egg ones though. That would have been an experience.
They have so much variety of options
Yeah.
there. And we only went into like one store and saw them.
Dude, I saw him in every Don Quixote I walked into. I've owned 8 cars, Jackson.
Jackson.
I mean,
We
you
still
did.
don't know if Dillyn, how many Dillons owned here.
I mean, go ahead and try to count them out. I'm waiting.
Honda Civic.
Excuse
I'm
me.
out of them.
I've owned a Nissan before. Yeah, it is Jackson. You literally outed yourself earlier, and I think it's because you forgot you wrote this prompt.
I did forget I wrote that prompt. I thought the 6th one was me, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. I remember because you said I've owned 8 cars. I'm like, well, shit. Hopefully they don't remember. Because you also said something earlier about the Nissan GTR or whatever the hell. And I was like, that's gonna fucking come back later.
Blunder.
Blunder after, anyway. That was Jackson in case it wasn't obvious or I didn't say it. Majora's Mask made me terrified of the moon when I was a child for about a week.
Alright, boys, show of hands. Who's played Majora's Mask? Raise that hand, Tanner. Come on, you were the Nintendo kid. I know it.
I haven't played Majora's Mask.
There's no fucking
actually,
way.
So I know it's between Dillyn and Nico.
Okay, so
Dillyn
just a
is more
second
afraid
here.
of
Tanner,
things generally.
Tanner, how many of like the classic Nintendo games have you played before? Because I feel like every time I bring up, yeah, you know, this classic Nintendo game that literally everyone who's ever owned a Nintendo console has played, you're like, I don't know what you're talking. I haven't touched that one. It's like
I've
you were the
played the
Nintendo
Mario
kid,
Karts.
dude.
The Mario Karts?
Yeah, I've played the Mario Karts, except for anything on GameCube. I actually have not played very much of like the classic Nintendo stuff, despite owning a lot of the consoles.
Crazy.
Bewildering. I guess I'll go Dylan.
Yeah. Yeah, this is
Okay.
definitely a coin flip for me with Dillyn and Nico. I'm going to say Nico, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Nico as well.
Gotcha. And unfortunately, Nico,
It was
you didn't
me.
fool anybody. Unfortunate.
I made a little like fort out of my blankets and pillows to try and protect myself from the moon.
Oh man, brutal. Alright, next up. My most favorite car I've owned is my first NA Miata.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Couldn't be.
Obviously. Then who?
Did I really phrase that so fucking weirdly?
Yes. I have anime stickers on my laptop.
Tanner. I've seen them.
Oh, that's convenient. Jackson? Tanner? What say you?
Tanner, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't think Nico really has a laptop anymore.
Tanner?
Dillyn.
Okay. It was Tanner.
Yeah. Jackson, he kept his laptop out in the fucking living room at all times. How did you not see
If you
them?
think I remember the details of his fucking laptop, you're manic.
I remembered it.
Yeah, you. This is what you said.
I remember the important details. You remember fucking everything, including the shit that doesn't matter.
He's looking at his list right now to verify that he typed that. Well, Tanner, does it say it?
I did say it like that.
There we go.
I mean, some of them are from anime, but most of them aren't, so...
I write what I sees, for the most part. I've had procedures performed on my face 5 times.
What were these procedures? Sucking dick?
Oh my god, Tanner. Control
They
thyself,
must be
dude.
Tanner then, right? No, wait, that'd be more than 5.
I feel like this is Nico, because I don't know what the fuck it'd be for either Tanner or Dillyn.
The fuck does procedure mean in this
I don't
sense?
know. I know he had like the throat surgery, so I assume that's like included, even though it has nothing to do with his face.
I mean,
guess.
we said I actually don't remember who had braces now. I think it was Dillyn, and I assume stuff related to that would count. So I'm gonna go Dillyn.
Okay.
I'm also going Dillyn.
Jackson?
I already said fucking Tanner. Wait, no, I said
Okay.
Nico. Actually, what am I talking about? I said Nico.
Regardless, that's a point for me.
Damn.
Yes, I have had 5 different procedures associated with my face done. I had my eyes were operated on at one point. I split my lip open when I was on like my 2nd or 3rd birthday. I've had my wisdom teeth removed. I've had extra teeth removed, and I've had braces. So
Too many things.
lots of fucking money in my face, and I'm still ugly as shit. I at one point had $12,000+ saved up in my savings.
This is a coin flip for me, but I'm gonna go Jackson.
Alright, so Jackson cares about money the most out of all of us. But this seems like the kind of flex that either Tanner or Dillyn would make.
True.
I disagree on that assertion, but
I'm leaning towards Dillyn. I think it's Dillyn.
Okay.
I'm not going to say any context. I'm just going to say I think this is Nico.
Okay. That's fucking 2 points for me, boys. Let's fucking go.
There we go. I
no
just
way.
know the man so
He
well.
does. I used to have so much money. So much money. Next. I fear that we will never complete a playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3 once it gets crossplay.
Okay, this one's Nico.
yeah, Nico.
Nico.
I mean, there's no defending of myself that I can do here. It finally got crossplay, though, boys, just a couple days ago. It's finally here.
I was gonna say, the fucking timing of this prompt, and the fact that you literally brought it up yesterday.
Yeah.
And this was but a month ago. Jesus.
We can finally
Alright.
start the playthrough.
Yes, we can. The people I play with all think I'm a woman. In what context?
That's a good question.
It's gotta be Tanner.
What the fuck does this even mean?
Tanner's fooling people.
I mean, who does Tanner play with?
Well, what is it? What does play mean? Does it mean games? Does it mean real life? What the fuck are you playing?
He's fucking downloading Tinder and just playing with him.
He sounds a fake bumble shit.
That is so funny, dude.
I'm gonna go Jackson.
Yeah, it's Jackson.
I'm going Tanner.
Fair enough. It is in fact Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson told me about this
Whoa.
before.
I'm sure he has, and it's very funny. What's funny too is we ran into one of his free company mates while we were doing our own shit, and I thought it was very funny. Anyway,
Dillyn's now part of the bit. He cannot
I am
escape
part of
this.
it. I contributed to the bits, and now, to be fair, you never, admitted it. I had a very long teddy bear named Teddy. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but
What does very long teddy bear mean?
I don't know. I just know it's a teddy bear named Teddy.
Tanner, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Very weird assertion
Um,
of all people.
Dillyn. I don't know.
I like stuffed animals, but I don't know about teddy bears.
I've seen Dillyn's stuffed animals before, and I do not recall him having a very long teddy bear.
All right, Nico, we don't need to get into the details. It's already fucking weird.
So, like, Tanner doesn't seem like... Well, neither Jackson or Tanner seem like they would be particularly attached to their stuffed animals. I think it's funnier if it's Tanner, though, so I'll say him.
Damn, just cannot catch a break. It was Tanner. What the fuck does very long
I feel like
teddy
I got
mean?
sussed out by sheer luck on their part.
What? But like, answer that. What the fuck does very long teddy mean, Tanner?
Dude, it was no joke. It was probably, I don't know, 3.5, 4 feet tall.
Okay.
It was just a long, thin teddy bear. I don't have a picture of it, and I wouldn't be able to describe it very well.
That's fair. My brain would go to the description of very big teddy bear. Very long teddy bear is a very...
It wasn't big though.
I get that now. Now that you've described that way, I get it.
It was like a Slenderman, but a teddy bear. I don't know how to describe this thing.
Let's get
Can you
that
imagine?
for you.
I think it was like an old one my grandparents had as a child or something.
That makes sense. They do like their fucking horror. You seen the old Easter bunnies? Fucking nightmare fuel. Anyway, with that, we have reached the end of our quiz, and I think we all know each other just a little bit more.
I'd say so.
Now, like I said previously, this actually was a lot closer than you guys would have thought. This was actually probably also one of our highest scoring quizzes, but that's typically how it goes with me in my quizzes. So, do you guys want me to go third place to first place, or first place to third place?
Dude, third place and then first place.
Yeah, bottom to top.
Okay, so, in third place, with 37 points, we've got Jackson. I didn't keep track of deception points separately, so just keep in mind those helped quite a bit.
But why not just fucking tally those and then do the actual total?
That's fair, dude. It's part of the total already, so... second place.
No, go first place. Because we'll be able to use we'll be able to just easily deduce who first is. So just say first.
Fair. First place is Nico.
Yay! Who would have thought the boy with the best memory knew you guys the best?
Does he want a little kiss on the cheek?
Yeah, dude, from all of us, for him knowing us so well, we all have to get gifts of appreciation now. Yep, Nico came in at 44 points, Tanner with 40 points, and I managed to deceive you guys 14 times, so that was pretty cool.
That's fun. I like that stat.
Yeah. Now, based on the information in front of us, if we still want to do this, cringiest fact about each of us.
That's right. Most cringe thing about each of us, I'm just going to go ahead and say, I think it's the gifts I send. I think they're very cringe, but I like them anyway.
Oh, we're going off of the list. I see.
No, not
I
off
thought we
the-
were going to choose
I think
from
that answer sucks, but I'll allow you to stick with
It's
that.
just in general, Dylan.
Oh, I figured we were just going to go off of what was shared today. I didn't... Okay.
I mean, here's the thing. I feel like...
There's nothing about me that's cringe. I'm based in epic.
No,
I'm fucking red-pilled
shut
as
the
hell. Are
fuck
you
up.
kidding
See,
me?
the most cringe thing about Nico is he thinks he knows everything. I'd say the most cringe thing about me, and by extension the most cringe thing about most people, is my ego. But I think your own ego is probably the most cringe thing about most people.
That's fair enough. I think it's also just the fact that you think you know everything, and then you try and put everybody down. Like, you know, you can't just say, well, actually, this is like what that thing is. No, you have to tell them, you're a fucking idiot. Are you kidding me? Are you stupid? Did you fucking grow up in Zimbabwe or some shit? How do you not know this?
Listen, Nico, you know, projection isn't just a river in Egypt.
Most cringe thing about me, probably my despicable use of the English language.
I wouldn't call it cringe. I think it adds character.
It's not good character.
I don't know, I think it's not, I guess maybe it's that I'm not very subtle about my wallpapers. If you know, you know.
I don't know if that's cringe, but
It's pretty fucking cringe.
fair.
I change them around people I care about.
You know what's hilarious? I literally was thinking about that today because I was thinking about, you know, our little discussion thing we did about, like, you know, who's what, that episode. And if I recall correctly, there was a who's the biggest gooner one, and we were debating between, like, me and Jackson, and I just thought, wait a second, Jackson has, like, fucking naked women wallpapers on his PC. He's the biggest gooner. Why the fuck was this a debate?
I was just fucking taking my dump so I could get him, to be honest.
Gotta take them where you can get them. Anyway.
Oh yeah, speaking of gooning, I can't wait to goon to all the amazing movies we watched over on Guapish at the Movies.
Guapish at the movies!
Jackson, what did we watch this week?
The Patreon pick, as requested by Topbot on Patreon, thank you for the request, was the 2022 film Shin, Ultraman. And of course, if you also want to get your Patreon, or I guess movie request, put in our Patreon queue, you can go to guapish.com/Patreon or patreon.com/Guapish, dealer's choice here. And you can pay $1 a month and get a movie in the queue each month, and we'll eventually watch it, like Tutbot did this month.
And I suppose I can go ahead and give the little plot synopsis for this film. So, Shin Ultraman is the story of Ultraman, one of Japan's biggest tokusatsu properties, as he fights various monsters of the week, like an evil bedsheet, guy who did nothing wrong, and the shadow to his Sonic the Hedgehog. Personally, I think that this movie was a riot. Tanner, what's your fun fact?
Fun fact, the filmmakers used frames from the OG series as storyboards.
I could buy it.
Is this a show?
Yeah, it was a big show, Dillon. It was a big-time tokusatsu show. Dillon, what'd you rank this film?
B+.
Honestly, that's higher than I expected for you. I'm giving it a B-.
I'm in between you guys at a flat B.
Tokusatsu is my favorite ramen topping. I gave a flat B as well.
There we go.
Holy smokes. I guess we're all we're all in the same boat here, I
We're
guess.
on the same-ish area.
I don't know. This movie reminded me a lot of Power Rangers,
Yeah.
if I'm being quite
Because
frank.
there was a big man in it
Well,
fighting
it's-
monsters.
Not only that, but also just like the movement, and also the CGI wasn't good. The acting was
I think it
okay.
was fine.
I think the sporadic camera shots also didn't help it at all. More so leaning towards the beginning, like they were just constantly doing camera cuts, and I thought that was like disorienting and bad. I don't know. It was fine. I thought the plot was okay. It was kind of whatever.
Additional fun fact that I forgot to mention previously, this film was directed by Hideaki Anno, the creator of a little-known show called Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Holy smokes.
Holy cow. Dude, so my big positives for this film were the score, which I thought was really good. I liked how much this film felt like a throwback to like 50s style like kaiju movies.
Oh, yeah.
And then the creature design I really liked.
The creatures
Yeah.
were really fucking badass. Like, just like that first big one they were fighting where it was just like a bunch of fucking drills.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the drill one was fucking sweet.
Yeah, just like the fighting in general, I had a lot of fun with. Just like like that first big fight with Ultraman and that dang old monster, where he just like does his Ultra Beam and it just fucking obliterates everything. That shit was fire. Oh my
That
god,
was pretty good.
And
yeah.
then the next fight where he just like he fucking launches and flies through the air and then comes down, but he doesn't like, you know, do like a big superhero landing like we're all very used to. It's like he just flies vertically down, like he's still in a flying pose, and he just like sits there and then does a fucking backwards spin and just launches the monster.
Yeah, I don't.
He turned himself into a fucking foosball, dude.
Dude, I thought it was pretty good. That was just so jarring to me. I am neither here nor there on that. That, quite frankly, the flying is kind of what put me off from this movie a little bit, if I'm being completely honest. But, like I said, it was fine.
My biggest negative was just, I thought the plot was kind of messy and runs out of steam. Mostly what I'm referring to is because, like, we start off and it's like, okay, the threat is kaijus, and then we drop that entirely and we're like, okay, the threat is this alien Zakoob, or Yakub, or whatever, Zarub, whatever.
Yeah.
And then that just ends and it's an entirely unrelated alien is now the threat. I wish they either stuck with kaiju the whole time or went kaiju into the end threat and didn't have the awkward Zarub one in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it feels very Monster of the Week, the way that this film is framed.
The unfortunate thing about this movie, too, is it's definitely, like, sequel bait. Like, this is setting up a universe. It's giving people context as to what Ultraman is and kind of what the whole universe is about. It sets him up as a character, too, with, like, the very final scene. And, yeah, it feels like we're watching like a prequel movie before the actual first movie comes out.
Right. Call me a fucking fanboy, but I was expecting Godzilla to show up at some point. I'm kind of glad he didn't, because that would have been a whole can of worms that I didn't want to get into.
That would have been pretty awesome, though. Honestly, my biggest issue with this film is exactly the same as all the MonsterVerse films. I wish there were less humans talking and more fighting.
I don't know. I feel like it lose steam really quickly in that sense. And that's just
There's
me personally.
just so much fucking talking in this film, though.
I'll agree with you. I do think that at a certain point in these monster movies, there's just so much human interaction and talking. But I don't think, and I don't think this is what you're saying, but I don't think it should be exclusively monsters fighting. I think that would, like I said, lose steam very quickly.
Personally, I was actually kind of a fan of the political drama thing they're going on. I think the shenanigans of the various aliens trying to get shit over on the humans was fun. I definitely think it is pretty slow and definitely gets boring at times, but I was pretty engaged throughout most of it, I would say, with some lulls throughout it. It's just a very quirky little movie. It was not what I expected at all. And I do appreciate, like with a lot of movies that do this, the aliens feeling very alien. They act very differently from humans. They are doing all sorts of weird shit with gravity we can't comprehend. Their whole fighting style is very strange. Their designs are super fucking ridiculous. Like one of them's like a weird sheet of paper. They've got this super fucking wacky space laser bullshit that like blows up a fucking solar system. All this crazy shit. I kind of fuck with that. I think it's interesting world building. Unfortunately, it does suffer from the fact that it's like all this cool world building, but who cares whenever it's like particularly relevant to the movie? It's going to be relevant to the shit that happens after the movie. Unfortunate symptom of what this is trying to be.
I was really hoping this movie wasn't a more recent movie. When I heard just now that it was 2022, I think that shocked me a little more, knowing that based on what I've said.
I mean, you know, they're very much so trying to evoke the feeling of much older sources of media here, so it makes sense that it doesn't look as, like, polished as something more modern like the MonsterVerse films do.
That's fine. And, like, I can at least appreciate that. If that's the vibe they were going for, it didn't look that bad. I figured it was, like, an ode, because I was like, I'm getting a lot of, like, old, like, Godzilla 50s vibes from this media right now. They're just trying to gussy it up or something, I don't know.
Going back to the fights here real quick, though, like, I loved the fights. I was a big fan of it. I liked when Ultraman appeared and fucked shit up, but, like, especially for, like, that first big old alien Zakub or whatever the fuck his name was, they're fighting for a little bit, and I'm ready for, like, some cool-ass action, but then he just throws a buzzsaw at it and immediately dies. That's just the end of the fight.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I was like, why the fuck would his Ultra Beam not be super effective, but he's got some random attack he can pull off in half the time, and it does double the damage.
Because he's Ultraman, he underestimated him. He didn't want that engagement to happen because he knew he'd lose, and he did, quickly.
I thought a little bit of a plot hole, maybe it's not a plot hole, maybe it's just me hoping for something better, is when they're like, you have limited energy because you fuse with a human. I mean, I kind of get it, but, like, it's not like he sacrificed half of his being. He just added his being to another being, so he shouldn't have limited power.
It diluted him, Dillyn.
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I was kind of whatever on that. It did kind of bother me, but, you know.
Yeah, the one thing with this movie that kind of sucks about, and it's like part of the root problem with it, is that I do think a lot of the world building is interesting. Like, I like the idea that the human race is such a unique species for these aliens that can just be used as, like, mass biological weapons, and they don't want people to do that, so that's why they plan on blowing it up. I think that's very interesting. And I think it's a cool setup for the end of it. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay off at all. But there's a lot of things like that where there's, like, cool, interesting world building, but, like, it doesn't really matter in the context of the movie. So it's kind of just wasted potential. Though I do think it does lead into my engagement with the movie throughout, but unfortunately then it kind of falls on its face when it doesn't really have much substance to it later on.
Yeah, exactly. How long did we have to wait between, like, fucking the Evangelion Remake 2.0 and 3.0, though? It was, like, fucking 10 years or some shit like that. I'm sure we'll get a new one of these in that amount of time.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah. The fucking 3.0 plus 1, I think, was like a decade gap between 3.0.
Oh my god.
This definitely felt like a Hideaki Anno film. Like, if Nico didn't tell me it wasn't him, I would have known within, like, the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, just the way everything is cut together immediately is like, oh, hang on, this is him.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys can depict who does what with movies just based on cinematography or whatever. I'm sitting here like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
It's a skill you work over time.
Yeah, some of these artors are rather... They've got a very distinct style.
I'll take your word for it. I've only watched like 300 movies or whatever the fuck.
I'm pretty sure this is the only live-action Auto film I've seen, so I am certainly excited to see more. I do think it's interestingly directed. It goes... But this is one thing we haven't really talked about, is like the cinematography in general. He is just addicted to just these random ass fucking camera angles like every 10 seconds.
Yes.
It works in its favor a little bit because a lot of this movie is pretty dry in its substance, and when they're changing the camera angle to like some random shot on the bottom of a fucking table or like the floor or like some random corner for no reason, it does certainly make it more interesting. It's like watching a Mr. Beast video or trying to keep your attention. It's jangling keys in your face. It is a little over the top, and I'm sure if you weren't, I don't know. I think it's fine for the most part. I like it, but I definitely could see it being pretty off-putting to somebody that's like familiar with the style and they just think it's kind of annoying.
Me.
But there's a lot of shit like that. The cinematography is very interesting in this movie, is how I would describe it.
I would also be guilty of saying it that way. Also, what's up with the fucking ass slap? Like, I don't think I get... Is that...
That was literally them just trying to do quirky anime shit in real life.
Yeah, that's just how fucking all Japanese productions are. This is just what they do in their shows and
I
stuff.
I
thought
know their
so.
general life is boring as fuck, so they try to implement actual, like, interesting, fun little whimsy things in their films to, you know...
I didn't want to chalk it up to that, but I'm glad, I guess, in the end, that's what it was.
I love that she became a giant woman. Oh my god.
Thank you, that second alien, I forget the name of, that deleted all the images of her.
Very funny.
The mechanics of that make no sense, but, you know, I'll just trust the
Yeah.
guy. Hopefully nobody printed out the images on paper or something and
Or
kept
you're
physical
fucked.
copies.
Yeah.
Either way, though, I can't wait for all of our answers to be revealed in Shin Kamen Rider. That one's gonna be sweet. I can't wait. Anyway, do we have anything else to say about this
I
one?
was gonna
Yeah.
mention,
No.
based on you saying that, I am afraid of what Shin Godzilla is gonna be now. I was really looking forward to that. I'm hoping that it has nothing to do with the title of this movie, but I fear that is not the case.
They're all in the same universe, Dillyn.
No, that's not true. They're just Shin. Basically, they're just using it to mean it's like a reboot / reimagining, I guess.
It means they
Oh,
killed the original, and this is the new one to take its place. What you loved is gone.
We didn't talk about this aspect of the movie, that being that Ultraman looks completely fucking stupid, and I think it's hilarious when, like, the main lead woman's like, it's beautiful. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, Ultraman looks sweet as hell.
He's okay.
All his attacks are super stupid and goofy. Like, I know they're trying to pay homage to the original Ultraman because that's just how they did shit back in the day, but like, it looks fucking terrible nowadays, and mostly just made it a very unserious film for the most part.
But it's also so
Just with
cool,
the-
though.
I don't think it's cool at all. I just think it's
Dude,
funny.
when he shot the big
I-
beam against that first monster, come on.
I mean, yeah, the explosion of it afterwards was interesting, but like him doing the stupid T-pose and then a laser just spawning in the middle of that is dumb as shit, and which just
I
looks
mean,
goofy.
hold on. In Nico's defense, I did think the first time I saw that it was pretty cool. Every time after that, though, I can't say the same.
Alien shenanigans, funny. I think it adds some brevity to this movie, which is needed, given it is pretty
Yeah.
dry.
Yeah.
Anyways, I would say I generally do like this movie, actually. I liked it more than I thought I would, and I am excited to watch sequels to it, under the assumption that with all this world building they're doing, it will lead to a more fleshed out and focused plot line in the second one, hopefully.
Yeah.
Copium.
Maybe you'll just have to go ahead and download all of the old, not Kamen Rider, all of the old Ultraman shit, and just watch those instead.
I'm sure it's probably dog shit, so I'm totally fine. Sorry, Ultraman fans, if you're listening to this. I have no faith in that old-ass fucking media, to be honest.
Ultraman fans are fucking numerous. I don't think they're as toxic as like Western fans are, like Steven Universe fans, but they are fucking everywhere. Like when we were in Japan, just every figure shop we'd be in would have a fuckload of Ultraman figures everywhere.
Funny.
Alas, the Japanese population is aging at a rapid rate, and they all are very aware of Ultraman because they're all experienced it in their
They
youth.
all saw him IRL.
True, they saved
was
him.
real.
Or he saved them.
They saved each other.
Anyways, I'm staying at a B.
I'm gonna stick it at my
Dude,
B-.
I did forget to say, I think it's very funny that in the lore of the world, monsters only appear in Japan.
Yeah.
And the rest of the world is just like, man, that's fucked up.
Get fucked.
I mean, I'm sure the rest of the world's totally fine with it. It sounds like they're profiting hell off of Japan
I mean,
constantly
it
buying
makes
weapons.
sense, though, because they literally said that the only reason the monsters are there because he was trying to draw Ultraman out.
True. I'm gonna stick with my B.
I'm also just gonna drop to a B.
It lands at a B.
Yeah, it lands in
smokes.
a B. Look at that.
The next movie we watched was Dillyn's pick, that being the 2014 Kingsman, The Secret Service. Please give us a plot synopsis.
Whoa, guys, have you ever wanted to be spies? Even better question for you. Have you ever wanted to be British spies?
No,
well, let me tell.
No.
Oh.
Hell
Well, then
no.
this isn't the movie for you, because this movie contains British spies, and they're a super secret service that doesn't exist anywhere on any records. They're more secret than the Men in Black. And basically, they take care of super covert things, and they have, like, some fucking futuristic technology, and they save the world by exploding phone chips in people's necks and keeping some death tone fucking noise that comes from electronics from people killing themselves. Tanner, what's your fun fact?
Fun fact. The first time they were shooting that scene with where they're all in the room and it floods and whatever, there was a computer glitch that just caused it to fill up the entire set instead of doing like preset. Like, it was supposed to be on a timer where it fills up, we get some shots, fills up a bit more. It just flooded the whole thing right away, and they literally had to be like dragging people out of the water because it fucked up somehow.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, a lot of they kept a lot of those initial reactions to how quickly it was filling up, and so that was like really genuine fear on some of their part.
Oh, no. That's great. I love that.
Lore accurate flooded
There we go.
room.
This movie's got it all. British spies, British people, spies. What else do you need?
Our ranks.
I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty decent. I'm gonna give an A-.
Let's go.
I'm also at an A-.
Let's go.
I'm also at an A-.
Let's go. I gave it an S-. I fucking love this movie.
We're all very consistent.
I really like this movie. I remember seeing this for the first time. I thought it was the coolest shit. I think the technology in this is just so... It's so minuscule, but it's so effective, and it's not like... I personally don't think it's anything, like, wildly unimaginative. I think the fucking umbrella, like, shield thing that also serves as, like, a switch shot between, like, stun and all that kinds of shit. I don't know. It's, like, more believable Men in Black, basically. I think the plot's really good. I think Samuel L. Jackson's inclusion in this and giving him a lisp, I thought that was silly. I don't know how many other movies I can say Samuel L. Jackson is a villain in. But I think the inclusion is great, and that his favorite meal is McDonald's for some reason. I think the movie was choreographed really well. I think the fighting scenes are really good. Yeah, it's fast paced enough too, where you just stay interested in it. Yeah, I really like this movie.
Do you think his favorite meal was McDonald's? I kind of just took it as like he was just fucking with the guy.
Yeah, I think we're just fucking with him.
I figure it could go either way. I just like to think his favorite meal was McDonald's, because I think it'd be funny for a megalomaniac antagonist with billions of dollars to do whatever the fuck he wants, and his favorite meal is McDonald's.
That would be funny.
Yeah, so I thought this movie, you know, it's fun, it's creative, it has really likable characters, which is a big positive. My biggest positive is
You
the
can't
church
understand
scene.
them. Oh.
My biggest positive, Dillyn, is the church scene. It's just a really standout fight scene. It's really engaging. You know, it does the one-shot thing we're all tired of already.
Tired of?
but-
What the fuck do you mean? I think it's great, dude. Especially they had fucking Freebird going on in the background. Is this the film that popularized Freebird as like a meme?
I hope so, dude.
That's-
I forgot it was in here.
That's not true.
Real quick pause here, just a temperature check. Do you guys think the scene would be better or worse with Freebird included?
Obviously, it was better
Worse.
with it included.
I think it'd be worse if it wasn't there.
Okay, so you guys agree. So yeah,
better.
you guys all think that Freebird adds to it. Okay, I agree. Tinichi says he thinks it ruins the scene, so he's very consistently the opposite of the opinion of the rest
He
of
very
us. I just wanted to
consistently
confirm.
has the worst opinions possible.
I just wanted to confirm I'm not the fucking crazy one here. I watched the
No.
movie with him. That's the context. Anyways, go on, Tanner.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the one shot is really good here because it helps you understand what's going on in the fight scene and keep up with the flow of it. Specifically, like, I like all of the action scenes except for the very first one in the bar, because I just feel like they are doing too much cutting and like whip pans to like follow along with like people throwing fists and whatever, and it gets a bit muddled there. But the rest of the action scenes I think do a good job of like letting the audience actually watch the scene play out and know where people are and what's going on.
I disagree on that first like bar fight scene. I thought that one was really cool. Just the way in which the camera is like tracking all of their movements and makes it feel very dynamic, and it makes each strike flow into one another really well. It just kept my attention really well during that scene. I liked it a lot personally.
I'm kind of like between you guys because personally I think it felt kind of messy, but also it's a fucking bar fight, so I thought that was kind of the point.
True.
Fair.
I will say, I was telling Jackson this because we were gonna play Final Fantasy afterward. I was in a Discord call with him. There is a part at the end, because Nico kind of referred to it at the end of our last episode.
Dude, I know exactly what you're gonna say. I'm so fucking pissed about that shit.
Dude, why the fuck did they cut it out? That's some bullshit.
Okay, because I've seen this before, and I specifically remember that too. And then there's nothing even hinting at it in it. I'm like, did we just invent that?
No, I fucking rewinded just so the audience and Jackson knows what we're talking about here. There's a part where he's saving the fucking princess, and she says, "Hey, once you save me, I want you to have anal sex with me." And it's just not in this version for some reason.
Yeah, they have everything else. Like, that's the worst thing that could have been said or that we've seen in the movie. Like, I think that's probably one of the more benign things we could have seen in this movie, to be honest.
It's a really awkward cut, too. It's like, someone just purposely went in there and decided, I really don't like this part. I think it takes away from the rest of the film. They just removed it.
Fun fact, I wasn't the guy that cut that out.
We know.
I had no idea that was even a thing.
And then, like,
Dillyn told me about it, I was so confused.
At the very end, when it's like the deed is actually happening, they like awkwardly shifted the camera very far to the left and then zoomed in so you can't see anything. But like people who've seen the movie before know what's happening. Some bullshit. Anyway.
My only other negative is I think the humor is a touch too meta. I think it dips a bit too far into that kind of humor where it's like winking and nodding at the audience.
We're not James Bond though, pal.
Yeah. That's a relatively minor negative though.
I kind of figured that was going to be what the problem was. I personally don't mind that, obviously, given that I have the higher rank of all you guys. I think it's a quippy little thing. I don't really view it as a meta thing. I think it's just them acknowledging that they are a spy villain in a spy villain circumstance, and that they've seen these movies, and it's just that's as far as it goes. They're just being quippy, is all. But that's just me.
Did you guys like how with the bar scene he does another bar scene at the end of the movie? It's like poetry. It rhymes.
It's a cool callback.
Mm-hmm. I think it's funny that they included Obama because they were fans of Obama, but then in the plot of it, Obama is willing to sacrifice like a huge portion of the American people, and then they kill him. I think it's very funny they do that.
Which, by the way in which they like blow up everyone's heads, I like a lot that they do like this sort of firework effect for it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys like that. I was worried you wouldn't.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
So the world is fucked anyway, right?
How so?
Like they killed off all of the most of the political leaders and the richest people on the planet, and then there were still a couple of minutes of like everyone on Earth fucking each other up. Like it's society is crumbling after this, right?
This sounds like the kind of world the Democrats want, Tanner. I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's gonna
This is the kind of world that Democrats caused.
I have seen the second movie, and I will not say to either argument what the outcome of that is.
I have heard that the follow-up movies are bad, which makes me sad because I don't want to watch them anymore.
The second movie, I would definitely say, is not as good as the first movie, and I saw previews for the third movie, and not only did they change the name, but also the previews didn't look good, so I'm not looking forward to the following sequels.
Dude, I like both of the follow-ups.
I mean, I'm not saying I dislike them, I just don't think the second one's as good as the first one, and I have really no clue for the third one because I never saw it. It just didn't look good. But regardless.
One major prop I have for this film is that they're not just like fucking going in here and giving us a super sanitized version of what London and shit is like. They're showing us some proper chavs, okay? Just some real fucking assholes just chilling out in the bar, being like, oh, there, let's fuck this boy up. I'm gonna fucking stab him for sitting in my chair. I love that shit. I'm a big
indirectly
fan.
correlating to that. I think a really like awesome wholesome scene at the very end, back to the whole bar fight thing, was like, oh yeah, I've got some connections, I've got a house, you can come live with me now and we can forget this loser. I thought that was like a really cool, I don't know what it is about that, I just think that's a really cool moment.
It's what Dillyn wishes he could do for his mom.
Dude, that'd be so sick. I don't know, I think it just adds to the whole, like, their it just speaks to their organization and what their standards are. Like, nobody knows what they are, who they are, but they're still able to, like, do all this shit that's extraordinary. I don't know, I just thought it was a really cool moment at the end of the movie, and then, yeah, it follows it up with a start of another bar fight, so.
Oh, the love, you ain't going with your son to a house. I'm gonna stab him with my shillelagh now.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I hate that guy. Why stepdads in these movies always gotta be fucking assholes?
Are stepdads in movies ever not assholes?
That's what Dillon's saying.
I think it's valid, bro. Name me one stepdad that's chill. Nico?
Life imitates art, dude.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't have a crazy amount to say about this movie, really. I think it's just a fun little action movie. I like that it doesn't take itself very seriously. I think it's got some good action scenes. It's got some fun characters that I enjoy. I like the training aspect of it and how serious they make everything seem, but also give hints as to it not really being that way with all like the kind of fake outs. And I also do like that they have the balls to just kill the fucking lead guy in the movie. But unfortunately, my big gripe is that I think I definitely start losing a bit of steam for me after he dies. I don't really care that much about like the big final action scene personally that much, but
I mean, that's fair. I was gonna say,
I still think it's a fun movie overall.
I was gonna say mad props to them, like, not bullshitting around and just fucking capping the main agent guy with zero thought. I think that's a move that not a lot of movies like to make.
I'm sticking in my A-, I think.
I'm gonna keep my S-. I really enjoy this movie.
I'm also saying that an A-.
I'm saying that an A- as well.
And it's an A.
Let's go.
A overall. And speaking of A+ tier movies, we've got my pick of the week, that being the 2008 film. I thought it was later than it actually was. Killer Bean Forever. And this is about the aforementioned Killer Bean who works for the Shadow Organization. He was tasked with killing a Don, basically, and then he figures out the Shadow Organization is actually trying to kill him because he knows too much, and hilarity ensues.
Fun fact, it took Jeff Liu 5 years to make this movie.
Oh my god,
That's shorter than I thought,
This is most certainly
honestly.
a passion project.
Yeah, I thought it would have definitely been longer.
Tanner, where are you putting this one?
I'm sitting at a flat C.
Okay. Dillon, how about you, dude?
Can I go last, please? I'm genuinely curious if I'm wrong here.
I'm at a D.
And a D+.
I'm very wrong. Convince me, but I thought this movie was pretty fun. I enjoyed it, and I saw the passion in the project. I don't want to say my rank out loud. This is so bad.
Why
You
not?
have to
Who
say
cares?
Quit being a pussy.
No, you guys are gonna fucking...
No, we're gonna go immediately to talking about the movie.
I gave it an A-.
Stupid piece of shit. Okay, so this movie...
So it's a notoriously bad film, but I thought it wasn't that bad.
It's a film on YouTube, okay?
Not all at once, guys. I think the biggest quality, or the big beneficial quality of this movie is just the fact that it is like a solo project. I think that's very impressive. I like the passion he puts into it, and I definitely give him props for that. Unfortunately, the writing is incredibly thin. I see what he's going for with the world building, but like there isn't a ton of substance to it. It's really fucking generic. The dialogue is not good. The animation is not good. It's fucking goofy. The action scenes are impossible to take seriously. The fucking background tracks,
Insanely generic.
not even gonna talk about them. You know, there's some funny scenes in it, but generally it just takes itself a little too seriously. And falls pretty fucking flat for me.
I'm gonna push back slightly. For what this is, I think the action scenes are actually pretty decent. And I think the voice work is stronger than we've seen from some theatrical releases.
Especially since they're all done by the same guy.
The quality of it is just so bad, though. Like, fucking some people just sound like they're talking through a fucking air can. It's crazy.
That's true, but the performances themselves, I'm like, okay, that person isn't like doing just flat monotone the whole time, you know? I agree the music is fucking atrocious. It's terrible. And I have a bit of an issue with the length. I wish it ended much sooner. Like, bringing in that assassin and doing this whole, like, B plot after, you know, the capo is dead and whatever, I didn't feel that the movie needed that.
It did not feel like a very clean ending there whatsoever. Very much so felt like, okay, after he takes down, like, you know, the big bodyguard bean guy, then it's like, okay, now he is like privy to like all this shit going on with the Shadow Organization. That's cool. And it's like, oh, the cops are after him. It seems like a great place to like end it. So like, okay, and I can like, you know, build the suspense for like the next film and stuff. But no, it's like, okay, now he's gonna get arrested and this other assassin's gonna break him out of jail just so he can try to kill him, and they're gonna do a big fight, and then he wins, and then the movie ends. It's just like some extra shit that just does not feel like it needs to be there at all.
The problem with the fights, too, I'm just gonna go ahead and use it as a segue to talk about them, is that it's just really hard to, like, I guess, fully understand the stakes of everything. Like, fucking, when he was, for example, had, like, 6 armed fucking operatives come out of a tank at him. I don't know how the fuck he was able to get away with some shit like that. Kind of just stupid. And then, like, the very final fight, I think some of the choreography was interesting. I definitely admit. The problem with it, though, is just, like, it's impossible to take anything seriously where he gets a punch and then just fucking ragdolls and then gets back up, and it's just that for, like, 3 minutes straight. And like, it's like fucking watching Rocky, where he just keeps taking hits, and you're like, he should lose, and then he just never does because he's the fucking main character, I guess.
The protagonist.
And it's just stupid. I just didn't feel like there's any stakes. Like, the choreography is fine, but, like, it's impossible to take it seriously.
Dude, didn't you know the bullets were programmed with RNG? Not only do they have to be accurate, but also they have a percentage chance to just not do anything because they evaporate upon impact.
That's insane. So, Dylan, you like this movie substantially more than any of us did.
I liked how he mirrored the images in the characters' eyes. I thought that was a unique detail. I thought the movement was pretty silly. Both the ragdolls and then also them doing, like, action-y things. The voice acting was okay. The scene at the beginning with the whole dance party was pretty fun.
And so it deserves to be an A tier.
Listen, guys, I don't know how to digest movies like you do, clearly. There's a big discrepancy between how we look at movies, and it's very obvious here. I can't argue why this movie should be higher. I just know that I can indulge in the bit for now and let you know what I'm thinking to some extent. I don't know. I guess if we're gonna look at this logically, which I guess there's no other way to really look at it, everything you guys said is obviously true. The whole RNG bullet thing, I did say, I was like, damn, some of these bullets should be hitting, but they're just not. I don't know, I kind of hate characters where they're like, yeah, guns don't work on this guy because they can dodge bullets, and he kills you with fists. I think that's kind of dumb. I don't like characters like that, but, you know, movies love that shit for some reason. I don't know, it was a silly movie, I don't really know.
Fair enough, I guess.
I admired listen, I saw it on YouTube, I was comparing it to other YouTube content, I admired the passion behind it, knowing that this guy spent time doing it, so I was giving credence to something that probably means nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Dude, you know what else is on YouTube? Epic rap battles of history. You think this is better than watching an hour and a half of those?
Well, when you put it like that, I do like epic rap battles of history. Fucking, you got Obama versus Mitt Romney.
Do they still make those?
I think they do. They're just cooking them a little slower. They're not as good as the old ones, in my opinion, but you know.
You still watch them?
No, I've just seen some of them. I've seen some of the more recent ones.
Yeah, they did. They are still cranking them out. They recently did a Godzilla versus King Kong, Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, Napoleon versus Charlemagne. They're really, they're going at it.
Why are they beans?
Why are they beans? Who's I was gonna ask whose executive decision this was,
Makes
but
it
I
a
guess
little
it's the guy who fucking
quirky
made
and
it.
stand out,
And
you
then
know?
like another random meta thing is I loved reading the comments on the YouTube video because we watched this on YouTube. We just have to upload it in full. And they're all just like, don't sell this shit to Disney, man. You can't do that. And like, Disney doesn't want to fucking buy the Killer Bee franchise. These people are fucking insane dick riding this guy. Like, I still agree. It's impressive for a solo project. I think it's cool that somebody can just make a whole ass animated movie themselves and publish it. I think that's aspiring work, honestly. But also, like, it's still not great. And I don't know what the fuck these guys are smoking.
Okay, but like, imagine for a second here, okay? That in the next fucking Avengers film, a Doctor Strange portal opens up and out walks Killer Bean.
That'd be hilarious. That'd be really funny.
I was gonna say, nope, thought's gone. Tanner, what were you gonna say?
If you guys had to guess how old Jeff Liu, creator of Killer Bean, is, what would you say?
70.
57.
58.
He is 52.
Let's go.
Oh.
I win. Where's my prize?
A kiss.
Holy smoke. I really wish I could remember the thing I was going to say about this. Oh, that's what I was going to say. My issue, and by issue I don't actually mean issue, but bear with me here. My issue with this movie is I think I was looking for everything right with this movie, because I knew from the beginning it wasn't going to be a high quality movie. So then I was just really trying to pick out of this movie, okay, what did this guy do right that makes this movie fine? And I think I thought that throughout the entire movie, and it obscured my judgment.
Dude, that happens with a lot of movies, not specifically with you, but like if you go in watching something with a specific set of expectations, it's really easy for you to like only look for those things and then miss a lot of like the good things in the movie if you're going in assuming the movie's dog shit. It's a very easy mental trap to get yourself stuck in.
True. Also, out of curiosity, Jackson, that thumbnail you have on the website for the Killer Bean, is that what it is? Like, is it supposed to be?
I get all of my thumbnails from tmdb.com or whatever the fucking actual top level domain is for it. And I just use the first one in the list, and if that one's dog shit, I use the one that doesn't look dog shit.
I'm not wrong in saying this is just the John Wick movie poster with the bean replacing him, right?
I noticed that too, and then I was like, maybe I'm crazy, but it does just look like the John Wick poster, but they edited in Killer Bean.
Okay, I'm glad. Yeah, that can't be a coincidence then. Okay, cool. Very funny. That's a copyright waiting to happen, I think. Maybe, who knows.
Killer Bean, D+ film.
Yeah, I'm keeping my D.
I hope you want to keep your D. I'd want to keep my D, too.
I want to keep your D too.
You can't have it. It's mine. Tanner?
I'll go ahead and drop down one to C-.
I really thought you were about to raise it, and I was going to be like, Tanner, what part of our conversation made you want to do that?
Dylan's aspiring A just got me fucking positive, man.
Alright, guys. Twist my fucking arm. I'll give it a C-.
I thought you were about to say twist my nipples. C-? Why the fuck did you drop it down that much? Every
that's a
fucking
drop.
time this happens, where there's this massive a disparity, you're like, you know what? I was wrong on this one, boys. I'm going all the way down where you are.
I feel like there's at least a slight bit of honor in that, but I also admitted to the fact that I was, objectively almost ignoring the things that were wrong with this movie. So, yeah, look at that. This is the fucking John Wick 2 poster. I fucking called it. Let's go. Anyway.
That's very funny.
Where does that land, Jackson?
That landed at a D+ overall.
There we go.
Fitting rank, I would say.
I verified my reasonings, Nico. You shut up.
No. One thing I definitely won't shut up about, though, is the new movies that we're gonna watch next week. Are you guys excited?
Oh, I'm so excited! That's a Cat in the Hat reference.
Oh my god. Tanner, dude, what movie are you picking out?
Well, guys, it is yet again franchise week, which means we gotta see if you guys can guess the theme of my last two films.
God damn it, what did you
That
pick?
being Nope and Shame.
I'm gonna guess one-word titles.
Nope. What the fuck was Nope? Oh, there it is.
The
Aliens.
Yeah.
Come on, boys, just fire them
Oscar
out.
snubs.
Wait, what was your other movie?
Shame.
Why is it? Oh, it's up here. I'm gonna go with Siblings.
The answer was black director.
I would have never known that.
I feel like I got pretty close.
You really
Give it to me.
didn't.
Damn.
Which is all well and good. I tried to make that one tricky by finding a movie by a black director that wasn't either directly about the black experience or primarily starring black people.
Dude, I'm never gonna get these right.
Shame was the only one I could find. And even then, the director, Steve McQueen, is also gay and British, so... Audience, down in the comments, if there is any movie by a straight black American director that isn't about black people, I'd love to know, because I'm unclear on if they exist.
I was wondering why you picked Shame.
Yeah.
I was too.
Anyway, yet again... Has anyone ever guessed? No, you guys
I
have
think
gotten
Nico
the theme
has.
a couple times. Yeah. Anyway, since no one got the theme this week, I'm going to go ahead and use this one to do 28 weeks later.
Oh
Whoa.
my god, we're watching
He's
it already.
busting him out. He's excited
Yeah.
for the new big gay film coming out. As for me, though, guys, I'm going to do something a little unorthodox here, okay? I'm fucking sick and tired at this point of waiting for this film. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick it at this point. We're watching Whiplash.
Boo! I thought you were gonna say Pulp
No.
Fiction, honestly.
Funny.
Damn. I'm guessing... Has this one been in... Oh my god, yeah.
That's the second oldest request in the queue.
Other
That is-
shit just keeps getting picked, man. At this point, I don't think it's ever gonna get picked. I want to see the movie. I want to watch it.
Is this Marvel's Whiplash?
That's
or am
right.
I...
Yeah, it's the Whiplash from Iron Man 2.
I'm happy we're watching a good movie this week. Thank God.
But also, dude, we're watching the film picked by Netta Gant, Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Stop winning! Stop!
More like Netta can't stop
Fucking
winning.
For real,
Yeah,
bro.
that
She
one.
had one 2 weeks ago, man. She only is being stomped because she can't get her movie picked twice in a row. It's bullshit.
Dude, my pun's gonna get cut out and Nico's gonna leave his in. It's bullshit.
It's just the way of the world, dude. Maybe learn video editing. And if you too would like your video to get selected for us to check out, then Dylan's gonna tell you about how to do that.
Alright, listen up everybody. So, for just $1 a month, if you head on over to guapish.com/Patreon or Patreon/Guapish, for $1, like I said, you get access to our Discord, which gets you access to movie requests, just like Netta Gant did. You get to request topics that we talk about, because, you know, we're always running dry on content, obviously. You get 500 slime coins for the bot that's slowly but surely dying. You get, early access to the podcast whenever it goes up, and you get access to the pre-guap. Today's was extra special, might I add. And you get to talk to us, and you get your name read out at the end of every episode, just like GH, Slayed by J, Blake, Netagant, I Love Lesbians, Top Ramen Man, Cum Guzzling Cum Guzzler, I Guzzle Cum, Tutbot, Lucas Ledette, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards. Thank you guys all so much for donating to our cause.
That's right, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, ring a ding that bell. We'll be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.